And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. We got a whole lot going on. I'm missing the whole intro up, but it's fine because I'm excited. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, rest in peace. ABL, you can't say that. He was a racist. Shut up. RIP to Hulk Hogan. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Trump went to Scotland. Pretty interesting trip. Said a few interesting things. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Plus, the whole Epstein thing is still looming over the heads of many people. That's still being discussed all over the mainstream media. They're asking about it every single day. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the Candace Owens fallout from the Emmanuel Macron lawsuit is still going on. I don't know what her objective is, but that's still a thing. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Gwyneth Paltrow, for some reason, decided to come out and speak about the astronomer issue as a paid spokesperson. I guess they're trying to lean into the drama and capitalize off it. That it's okay, but it feels kind of contrived. It feels kind of weird, but we'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Uber now has an option, or they will unroll an option to match what Lyft is doing, to match women with other women as it relates to drivers and passengers. Now, the question is this legal? Is it discrimination? What will come next? Is it needed? Is there a demand for it? We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for joining. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Oh, was I loud? Beef and chicken? My fault for the headphones. Yeah, RIP. Hey, before I begin, RIP in advance to the headphone users. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling with me. If you enjoy what you're hearing tonight, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yes, we're going to get into it. Apu says, Apu, please tell us about your Hulk versus Warrior childhood. Oh, yeah, we're going to get into it. I'm going to start with Hogan. I'm going to start with some of the more, some of that type of stuff. But listen, Hogan was the man. If you guys are not old enough to have been around during Hulkamania, it was real. If you were not a child during Hulkamania, it's kind of hard to really understand. Listen, when Hulkamania really hit, I'm not sure when that was, but I know I was like probably about 4 or 5 years old when it was really, really like jumping. I'm talking about you had, before Hogan, it wasn't, wrestling is not what it is. It was like regional. It was small. When Hogan came in, he was, I think, one of the first guys that had like action figures, merch, all of that. An entire toy store could be filled with Hogan merchandise. He was like Trump in that sense, where there was a bunch of merchandise linked just to him. Hogan was the guy, 80s especially, and then even into the 90s with NWO and all that. Hogan was the standard, period. He was a man. Everybody loved Hogan. Now, people talking about, and before I continue, rest in peace to Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Prayers out to his family. That the kids, the ex-wife, the wife, everybody, prayers out to them. But look, people are talking about, there was a tape that came out of him. He was on the answering machine or something, talking to his daughter, talking about, oh, why you got to get with an N-word? At least let him be worth $800 million. Listen, for real, I don't care about that. I don't care. It's fine, because I never heard Hulk Hogan say the N-word publicly. I have heard some of these elected officials, Joe Biden, say it publicly, and or even if not just in the context of reading something, he said racially incendiary things, but I've not heard Hulk Hogan say stuff like that. You're an elected official, and your purpose is to communicate with the public publicly, and you're using racially incendiary language, poor kids as smart as white kids. I never heard Hogan say that, but it's fine. We, the community, can vote 94% for Joe Biden, despite his past, despite the crime bill, despite the racially incendiary things he said publicly. Despite all that, it's fine. But God forbid Hulk Hogan have a private conversation that gets leaked to the public and you want to condemn him for that? How many of y'all have said things just like that It don't matter what color you are, black, white, Puerto Rican, the candy stripe. How many of y'all said things just like that in the comfort of your own home? If your walls could talk, would you be embarrassed? If your walls could talk, would you be embarrassed? I don't like putting out somebody's private conversation and judging them based on that. Call me whatever you want. It don't even matter. You know, at this point, I'm so old, it don't matter. I'm 40 years old, but I feel like I'm 100 years old as far as my mentality. Words do nothing because anybody gonna do nothing no way. Anybody gonna do nothing but just talk. So what? Who cares? I still feel the same way I feel. Someone being upset, somebody being defended ain't gonna change it. It is what it is. And about the whole thing about not wanting your daughter to, if you're a white guy, not wanting your daughter to date a black guy, is that like news to anybody? Is that news to anybody? Is it exclusive to white guys? No, because, hey, black folks, what do we say? There's a, okay, if you've not heard, I'm gonna snitch a little bit. Sorry, community, I'm gonna snitch a little bit. One of the phrases that we know is, if she can't use her home, hold on. If she can't use your comb, and I know the black folks completed it. If she can't use your comb, don't bring her home. Meaning if she don't got hair like this, don't even bring her in the house. That's what we would say back in the day. And that's fine. It's totally fine. Listen, I'm not even really mad. It's okay. So why are we so sensitive to the point where we're going to like throw away an iconic figure because of something like that was said that pretty much everybody says behind closed doors? I don't really understand. Hogan was the man. And when you hear about Hogan and the things that he did for people, like actual real world people, the things that he did for people, it didn't matter what color they were. When you hear about those things, he was like a saint to many people. Not perfect, but a very good man. So yeah, RIP to Hulk Hogan. Hey, he was the man. WWF, WCW. I remember when they did the whole thing with NWO, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, where he let drop, what was that, Randy Savage? I remember all of that. I remember everything. I remember the early, like the late 80s WWF with Warrior, Taker. Taker came a little bit later, but Warrior, Randy Savage, Ric Flair. Listen, hold on. You know what? I'm going to say this. You know when somebody's a really good person when grown men cry when they die. If you go to a funeral, usually it's not a whole lot of crying. Especially if they get to be older. It's not a lot of crying. It's kind of like matter of fact. If it's like a family thing, the person was not a celebrity. It's like a family reunion. There's not a lot of crying going on. I was at a funeral when my uncle died when I'm about 5-6 years old. He was like 36 at the time. He had HIV AIDS or it might have been something else. But anyway, when he died, it was like I had an outer body experience. So I could see myself outside of myself. I'm 5 years old. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. I'm here at the funeral, but I don't understand death like that at that age. But I can remember looking behind me and everybody boo-hooing, crying, grown men, full grown men, 6'5" grown men crying tears like a little baby. I have never seen that before or since. Now I go on my social media. I see Ric Flair boo-hooing, tears. That right there tell you something when you could touch people emotionally like that, what kind of person you are. So yeah, all that, oh, what about this moment, man? So what? Yeah, Sharon O'Neal says, yep, I've seen grown men crying about Hogan, Steamboat, all of them. Oh yeah, Steamboat. Is Steamboat still living? Hold on. Because Ricky Steamboat, didn't he put Hogan over? Oh yeah, so he must have reacted. Oh man. Man, that's rough. That's super rough. So yeah, RIP to Hogan. And shout out to wrestling, the 80s, the late 80s, up until like the WCW NWO Nitro Raw War. The Nitro versus Raw War, if you were not around for that, you don't, like imagine being a teenager in 1998. Oh my God. Y'all could never understand if you weren't there, you could never understand. It was really something magical, for real. Roddy Piper, yep. Shout out Roddy Piper, Randy Savage, all of them. R.I.P. Roddy Piper, R.I.P. Randy Savage. Yes. Debbie says, ABL, remember when Hulk fought at wrestling in the chase? Well, listen, Debbie, I'm not that old. I'm born 1984. So the 70s and all of that, I don't remember. I came into wrestling when, this is like 88. This is like late 80s into the early 90s. But definitely like 88, 89, I was most certainly watching wrestling. Okay. Hey man, I was NWO all the way. When NWO came out, I had the shirts. I'm doing all this type of stuff. Because when NWO came out, I'm in middle school. Oh man. 13-year-old, 12-year-old ABL, NWO. Man, it was magical. So nah, man, look, the little N-word moment, so whatever. Anyway, but shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I'm going to read some more of these comments, then I'm going to keep rocking and rolling. We got a lot to cover. There's quite a bit going on, quite a bit happening. Hippie J says Hogan was a Babe Ruth of professional wrestling, for sure. Nobody was better than Hogan. Hogan was not the best wrestler. He give you some stiff moves. He was no Rey Mysterio. He was no Rey Mysterio or even like a Kevin Nash because he was so tall with that choke slam. But the leg drop and all of that, it was more about his mic work, his aura, his look, everything that he did, putting it together made him be the best. That's really what it was. I did not see Fantastic Four. I got to go watch that. I've been a little bit busy, but I'm going to watch Fantastic Four. And I think I'm going to do a review for that on Oka ABL. Astrocyte says, ABL, good NWO or bad NWO? I liked the NWO before it got to be kind of silly. Before Dennis Rodman, I mean, shout out to Rodman, but it's like, all right, now it's a little bit too commercialized. I like NWO when it first started. When it was Hogan, Nash, and Hall. When Hogan had let drop Randy Savage, and then they became NWO. That right there, Wolfpack was cool, red and black, but when it got to be kind of like you got 15 guys in the ring with NWO shirts on, I'm like, all right, let's kind of scale it back a little bit. All right, Eric Bischoff, what's going on? Anyway, but yeah, Electron 5 says 80 Saturday nights main event was awesome. For sure. Sue says, I wasn't into wrestling, but I remember Hulk and Randy Savage. I'm so sad that he passed away so suddenly. Yeah, I mean, listen, they were iconic beyond the sport, beyond professional wrestling. They were iconic. It's just like Jordan. You might not really watch sports at all, but Michael Jordan. You might not be a boxing fan, but who Mike Tyson is. You might not be a football guy, but Tom Brady, I mean, how can you not know who that is? It don't matter if you watch sports or not. You know who that is. I don't watch soccer at all, but that one dude, I forget his name, but I recognize his face, but I don't watch soccer at all. Ronaldo, is that his name? Was he from Portugal, I think? I think that's his name. Listen, and that's coming from a guy who is completely ignorant about soccer. I do not know anything about the sport. I don't know what the positions are. I don't know how you really play it. All I know is they just run and kick the ball. I'm that ignorant when it comes to that, but I still know who that is because of the popularity going beyond the sport. David Beckham, same thing. Never seen him play. As far as I know, he might have been a member of a rock band. I don't know, but I still know who that is because of how popular, how famous he is. It transcends that sport. Gold Dust. Yeah, Gold Dust. I used to like Gold Dust and his daddy, Dustin Runnels. I used to like Gold Dust, though, because it was just something different. I really enjoyed his act. I feel like he was underrated, to be totally honest with you. He was very much so underrated. Shout out to Goat Dust. Dustin Runnels? Yeah, Electron says, I'm shocked Flair outlived Hogan. Hey, it's like Ozzy Osbourne. This dude, how did he live to be so long? Whitney Houston and everybody else dead at 48, 50 years old. How did Ozzy live to be 70 something? How did that happen? That's crazy. That's totally crazy. But some guys just built different. Some guys just rough like that. Some guys are just built way, way, way different. And they kind of indestructible in that sense. All right. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'm going to get into a couple of things here. Then we're going to get into some videos. Robert says he should have lived longer. He was great appearance at the convention last year. Now, I'm hearing some things about Hogan. They said that it might have been something that happened. It might have been something that accelerated his death. But you never know, man. And these guys, these wrestlers are getting old. I mean, Hogan was like, what, 70 something. Let me see. What, 72? I believe, yeah, 70. He was not quite 70. He was 71. He was not quite 72. He had a birthday coming up. He would have been 72. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a little early, but not necessarily, especially if you had that kind of lifestyle, being out on the road, the drinking, the drugging, the long hours, doing shows all over the country, because it wasn't just doing shows for like, Nitro, Thunder, whatever the programs were on WCW, WWF. It wasn't just that. You doing house shows, you doing appearances, you going from here to there to everywhere. It's like being a rapper or a musician. You put that kind of wear and tear on your body. Although it's a scripted thing, it's not like you're not exerting any kind of effort. Okay, if you are a singer, thank you, I said 71. If you're a singer, you're not really doing manual labor, but if you're singing that same song 3 times a day, every day, all over the world, it could be kind of tiring because you're physically exerting effort to do that thing, although it's not necessarily like manual labor or something that's strenuous on your body because you're lifting heavy objects. You're still putting a lot of effort out there, which is causing you the stress. So a lot of these singers like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Amy Winehouse, all of them dead early because of that stress they put on their body. So yeah, steroid, and of course the drugs, the steroids, painkillers, the drinking. In the 80s, the cocaine was something else. The cocaine was off the mark. Hey, when you see them 80s promos, you already know what it was. Ultimate Warrior, I don't know what he was on, but he was on a lot of it. And of course, he was dead, 51 years old, or however old he was. He was pretty young. That's how that works. E Loves Winning says the average lifespan for American white male is 71. Is that true? I gotta double check. I gotta fact check you. I'm not trying to say that you said, lifespan American white male. Let me see if I can find it right quick. 76. 77.43 for the total national average, but 76 for American white men, according to, what's it, CNBC? Yeah. So that's pretty much what that is, but close enough, 70, he was about to be 72, so he was getting close. Anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. RIP to Hogan. Let's keep on moving here. Thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Also, shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or go to patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, please go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. Also, please go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. You'll be able to find articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, you'll be able to find sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, political, agnostic, local, national, whatever you want, I got it. It'll be right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, please go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my email address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All those links are right there on the contact page of the website. And by the way, shout out to you guys who are following me on those platforms. You're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, Facebook, whatever. Shout out to the Facebook community. And Instagram is blowing up right now. I guess I'm going viral. I don't know what's happening, but we got some really good content. Shout out to Monique, our editor over here on the channel. Fantastic, amazing videos. We're really blowing up on those platforms. So if you're following me there, tell a friend to tell a friend to follow me as well and enjoy that content. But all those links will be on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you're ever wondering if you're conversing with me on the interwebs or not, you're probably not. And there's a million ways to tell, but the most Obvious way to tell is the method of communication. If it's not contact@anthonyblogan.com, it's not me. It's not me. And even if it looks like that email, which is on the website, so you don't got to remember, it's on the website. Even if it looks like that email, if you're talking about some kind of Bitcoin Forex, some kind of random scam thing that sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Plus, I'm not going to email you randomly talking about, hey, X, Y, and Z person, I got a deal for you. I would never do that. So please be wary. Don't get scammed because it's getting so bad. I was reading somewhere where they're talking about they're trying to get the government to like do something about the scams. Let me see if I can find that right quick. I was reading that recently. Okay. I was reading it. But maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. Oh, no, here you go. Washington Examiner. Yeah, here you go. So look, it says Congress must take action. Hold on, give me a second. Congress must take action against rampant online scams. Okay, this was July 25th. This is yesterday. So that's how crazy it is. That's why I always talk about it because it's serious. Like I'm not just. It's serious, so please be careful. Don't get scammed in 2025. Don't nobody get no time for that, all right? Eugene's Music says, ABL sold me hot to a coin. That's hilarious. I mean, did we just memory hold that? Did that just happen and everybody said it was all right? Like, she literally did the rug pull, and it was obvious what it was going to be from the very beginning. Like, how did that happen and nobody get in trouble? Like, make that make sense. But anyway, so remember... Gwyneth, hold on. Okay, let's start from the top. Remember the whole thing with the Coldplay kiss cam that went viral? Everybody's seen it. I don't got to play it no more. Maybe I'll show you a picture, but I'm not going to actually play the image. Hold on. But remember that went viral. Okay, so an update on that. Both of them been fired. Like I said in my video, they both been fired. I mean, that was obvious what was going to happen from the very beginning. That's not really anything worth trying to mention. But it's just something that we already knew was going to happen. Okay. And for reference, this is them. Okay. Everybody has seen this. It's been all over the place. It went mega viral. It was viral like Gangnam Style. It was like that all over the whole world. It was a mess. So that was the CEO of Astronomer and the HR lady. Now, Astronomer is a tech company. And I guess this particular incident got them a lot of attention. Firing them, I guess, would stamp out some of the negative attention, but maybe the attention isn't that bad and it's actually helping them and they're trying to lean into it. Okay. So this is Gwyneth Paltrow as an unofficial spokesperson for Astronomer. Now, if you don't know, Gwyneth Paltrow is an actress and she was married to Chris Martin of Coldplay for 13 years. From 2003 until 2016. Now, the reason why that matters is because the whole incident happened at the Coldplay concert. You see what I'm talking about? Now, I don't know how they got her to do this. I don't know what's really going on, but let's just watch some of this again. This is Gwyneth Paltrow talking for the tech company Astronomer, in which the executive and the HR lady got fired after the kiss cam went viral.
Thank you for your interest in Astronomer. Hi, I'm Gwyneth Paltrow. I've been hired on a very temporary basis to speak on behalf of the 300 plus employees at Astronomer. Astronomer has gotten a lot of questions over the last few days, and they wanted me to answer the most common ones. Yes, Astronomer is the best place to run Apache Airflow.
Okay, so you see what happened right there. The actual question was, OMG, with the actual, so they're just trying to play. They're just trying to like play on it. As in, they're getting questions about the kiss cam, but rather than answering those questions, they're going to talk about the actual things they do, which is big tech.
Yes, Astronomer is the best place to run Apache Airflow, unifying the experience of running data, ML, and AI pipelines at scale.
Okay, so you see, you get the general idea. I ain't gonna play the whole thing. It's only about a minute long, but I ain't gonna play the whole thing. So what is your opinion about Gwyneth Paltrow doing this? About her playing into the thing and basically becoming the meme? I mean, for me, I guess I don't know. I don't know if I really like this. I don't know who the new executive is. I don't know. Maybe this is going to work, but I'm not quite sure how you translate the memes from the kiss cam into positive cash flow for your big tech company. Do you guys think that's going to work or not? And I'm sure that she got paid a big bag. Gwyneth Paltrow, she's not going to do this for $0 because it's kind of embarrassing. I wouldn't do it if I was an actor. I most certainly wouldn't do this because I'm not lowering myself to that level. But if that bag big enough, hey, they get on that couch and go full-time cruise. It's fine. It's totally fine. What do y'all think? Would you do it? What the bag was big enough? Would you talk about this thing and make a joke out of it? I don't know, but that did happen. I saw that. I was like, I was confused. I was like, what? First, I thought they were trying to do legitimate damage control by hiring Gwyneth Paltrow. Then I started to put two and two together quickly. I'm like, oh, that's Chris Martin's ex-wife. Oh, she's not really answering the questions. It's just marketing. I come from a marketing background. I don't think that I would do that. If I was a marketing guy, I would tell them to just lay low and let it die down rather than trying to reignite it because you're going to cause some embarrassment. There may be some more eyes that are on your platform, but you're also going to cause more embarrassment. So, yeah, that's not really my thing. Okay, now this video I put on my Uncle ABL channel, but it's not. I'm not going to play a video. The T app. Have you guys heard about this? Now, the reason why I'm talking about it is because this is a pretty serious data leak. So the T app is for women only. And what you can do is sign up and report anonymously about men that you have dated. So here's what can happen. A woman can go on this app, post a picture of her man, and say whatever she wants about him. It's usually like to warn other women, or a woman will post a guy she's dating and ask, hey, does anybody know him? What's your experience? All of the comments, all of the posting of the man is anonymous. So these women have no names or faces attached to them in the app. However, there must be identification, a visual ID verification. And they take a selfie on their phone and they upload their driver's license. Now, there was a folder, basically a storage place that was public from about 2 years ago. So it's been around for a long time. Although it's going viral right now on TikTok. It's been around for a long time. And women been using it, by the way. Anyway, there was an old storage place that had a bunch of pictures of the selfies and the driver's licenses. And that got released. It was not hacked because it was available publicly. If you have any kind of cyber knowledge, all you got to do, run a script, scrape the bucket, and you got all the data. There was no actual breaching into a secure place. There was no password. It was none of that going on. No password required, so no hacking technically. Now, this data is so crazy. It had metadata on the pictures. So it had locations with pictures and names. So people or a person made an interactive map where you could literally search and see people's names, their faces, and where they live, the general area, maybe even right on their house. Now, although this was from like 2 years ago, as far as the people that are in it, these are still real people. It's not the new viral crowd, but it's an older crowd that was on there 2 years ago. So yeah, let it be a lesson to you guys. If you want to use these kind of janky apps to try and gossip and, you know, because that's kind of what the new people that are on it from TikTok, they're most certainly going to be gossiping, spreading false information, false allegations against men because they are mad at them. They talk about guys they don't know. It's all kind of stuff. They go in there and just talk bad about them, say bad things. If you sign up to a site like that or something that's kind of weird and you got to take your selfie and upload a driver's license, but you want to be anonymous, you might not be anonymous for long. You know, they got, what's that, OnlyFans? You got to do the same thing with them. So if you don't want to be found out for being on that website and spending money on them girls, do not do the ID verification. They say, oh, we're going to delete it right afterwards. But yet 13,000 pictures got leaked. So clearly they didn't delete it. It was just sitting right there publicly for anybody to take. Do not trust these apps. Limit your actual access of your data from the apps. Don't give them your driver's license. Don't give them such sensitive information, because when you have such loose security, it can easily be stolen. And now you got a problem. Identity theft, all of that could be the result of this. So yeah. Jen J says, can't speak to that, but exposing DL is always a plus. Well, just because somebody says somebody's DL doesn't mean it's true. It could just be an allegation. Because all you got to do on that app is just post a picture and say he's gay. Where's your evidence? That's just you talking. You see? Now, Uber, this is interesting. I've been reading comments about this, and you guys made some very valid points. So Uber is doing what Lyft does, apparently. I had no idea Lyft does this, but Uber is rolling out a feature that will allow women to match with other women as it relates to drivers and passengers. Now, I understand why they're doing this. It's a demand for it. It's a big demand because there's a consistent complaint from women about men and these rideshare apps. It's a consistent thing. And it's so women are wanting to do something else. And really, the demand is so high, Lyft already done it. Uber is following them. So women in San Francisco, San Fran, LA, and Detroit in August next month, they'll be able to select if they want a woman driver or not. I think it's fine. I think it's totally fine. But it might not be the best way to go, because first of all, you're going to get transgenders that mess the whole thing up. Yes, you will, because I'm not sure how it is in some parts of the country. Can you get your actual driver's license changed to say F when you're really an M? So you're going to have this big 6'4" bull dagger looking person, which is really a man, come pick you up when you request a woman. So that right there is an issue. Also, 75% of Uber drivers are men. So if you request a woman, it's going to result in a longer wait time. My advice, if women really want to avoid men, or they want to avoid the dangerous men, because that's what this is about. It's about dangerous men who are attacking women or making them feel uncomfortable, trying to talk to them, trying to get their number, all that kind of stuff, right? It's about them. The way you avoid that is by a few ways. First, yellow taxi. You're talking about vetted out employees. These are not just random guys that picked up their phone and said, okay, now I'm going to start driving Uber. There is a verification process for Uber and whatnot, I know, but it ain't the same thing as going to a dispatch place and driving that way, because when you get into your vehicle to drive Uber Lyft, ain't nobody right there checking you, breathalyzing and all of that before you get in your car. You just get in there and start driving. Now, you could be high, drunk, whatever, and put women and men in a dangerous situation. But a yellow taxi, in my opinion, is better than Uber Lyft on a low level. What you could also do is get the high price Uber. You could get you an Uber Black or whatever. Or like when I was at the airport, right? You got Azerbaijani, Lebanon, you know how they be, the Middle Eastern dude at the airport. Hey, my friend, when you look waiting for a shuttle, come, I give you a ride. I hop in this car. He got the nice big black car. He bust me in the head. It was $100, but it's fine because I know that this guy is going to keep me safe. He's not going to do nothing crazy. And it's going to be square business because he has a real business to run. This is not just him picking up shifts on the side. This is him investing thousands upon thousands. I asked him, I was like, how much does this cost? He said for one car, he paid like $14,000 in taxes in California for one car. I was like, oh my Lord. But yeah, this is his real business. And he put real money into this, like into the 6 and 7 figures. So he's not going to attack you. And some of y'all said the driverless vehicles. Now, I cannot recommend them. I cannot recommend them because I just don't really trust it quite yet. I don't really trust it. Hey, we saw that dude doing donuts for no reason in the Waymo, talking about some help. It's like, bro, you better get in that front seat and be Fast and Furious, be Tyrese and Ludacris and Vin Diesel, RP Paul Walker. You better be Fast and Furious in that front seat. I'm not going to be in the back seat of a Waymo talking about some help on the phone. It's not stopping, bro. Anyway, because of that kind of stuff, and then depending upon where you live at, the Waymo don't know what's going on. The Waymo in Atlanta, Georgia is not ready. The Waymo in Atlanta is almost the equivalent of a Florida driver. Shout out to the Florida drivers, but in Atlanta, it don't really mix. It's not really conducive. Y'all driving slow. We driving 85 miles an hour. You got to get up out the way. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on. So I cannot recommend it. But what do y'all think about my recommendations? If women want to be safe, because I don't want to discount what women say. It's been a consistent thing. It's not really like a one-off. It's a real thing. Because these guys that drive Uber, Lyft, not all the time, but sometimes, these are not like, you know what I mean, the best of the best doing it. You getting guys that probably got felonies, can't work a regular job, all kind of stuff. And of course, they're going to be inappropriate in the vehicle because they don't have a real forward-thinking mindset. Again, the Middle Eastern dude at the airport with the black car, you're going to be totally safe. Totally safe. The taxi, much safer than Uber. That's what it is. Simple. Okay. But shout out to y'all. If you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Hey, Eugene's Music. He had the phone. He was on the phone recording him. Help. I was like, bro, you need to get in that front seat and drive that car. I'm not going to be in no Waymo, letting the Waymo do donuts for absolutely no reason. I need to go to the airport. This ain't no time for no car show. Okay, let's get to Hartsfield Jackson immediately. I am not trying to miss my flight. Now, shout out to Dan Bongino. Listen, Dan Bongino, I like him, but I think he's a little bit soft. And I don't know what's going on with this. Okay, so I'm gonna read some of this, and y'all just help me out. Help me figure out what's going on. All right. So Dan Bongino posted something on his Instas, Snaps, Twitters, saying that he's shocked to his core by FBI findings of corruption and political weaponization. And the way he said it, it was like pretty dramatic. You know, let's just show this right here. Hold on, give me a second. During my tenure here as deputy director of the FBI, I have repeatedly relayed to you that things are happening that might not be immediately visible, but they are happening. The director and I are committed to stamping out public corruption and political weaponization of both law enforcement and intelligence operations. It's a priority to us. But what I have learned in the course of our properly predicated and necessary investigations into these aforementioned matters has shocked me down to my core. We cannot run a republic like this. I'll never be the same after learning what I've learned. It's too dramatic. It's too much feelings, too soft. And if you're going to say something like that, then why don't you say what you found? Like, rather than saying, it shook me to my core, I'll never be the same again. What did you find, Dan Bongino? What did you find? If you're not going to say it, then just shut up until you say what you found. That's just my opinion. But anyway, we are going to conduct these righteous and proper investigations by the book and in accordance with the law. We're going to get the answers we all deserve. As with any investigation, I cannot predict where it will land, but I can promise you an honest and dignified effort at truth. Not my truth or your truth, but the truth. God bless America and all those who defend her. Respectfully, Dan. Okay, Dan. Okay. I don't want to be too critical right now, but Dan, I need you to produce something because I don't like when I hear stuff like this and nothing comes of it. Because if that goes on, I just tune you out. I tune you out. Whatever you say after that, I'm not even paying no attention. It's like, all right, man, you just, kind of talking. But what do y'all think? What do y'all think that Dan Bongino found? What do y'all think has shaken him to his core? I'm not saying he's lying, but I just don't like when you say things like that and don't really say what it is. Just save me all of that until you. I'm not interested in the talk. just do something or don't. That's just how I feel. So yeah, that's Dan. I don't know. Do you guys think Dan will last in his role as deputy FBI director, or is he going to got to get, is he going to pass the torch to somebody else? What do y'all think? Okay, so look, Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell is being talked to for some reason at this point. So look, it says just in, Ghislaine Maxwell provides Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and the DOJ with information of 100 people linked to Epstein. David Oscar Marcus, Maxwell's attorney, said she was asked about every possible thing you could imagine, everything. This was the first opportunity she's ever been given to answer questions about what happened. The truth will come out about what happened with Mr. Epstein, and she's the person who's answering those questions. Okay, so what do y'all think? Will we go anywhere with this? Because I've been hearing about Epstein for years and years and years and years. And the only ones who have been locked up, as far as I know, are Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Maybe anybody else. I'm not sure. It wasn't a high profile thing, or I just don't recall. But it's been them, and he dead. So what do y'all think? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know what's going on. I'm reading the comment. Dante 2K says ABL be like the old lady in the phone commercial. I unfriend you. LOL. That's not how this works, ABL. That's not how any of this works. Hey, man. I'm old. Like I said, man, I'm 100 years old, but I'm 40, but I feel like I'm 100 because I just feel like, I don't know, man. It's just weird. But do y'all think that'll be something that yields something? Again, it's just like Bongino. Okay, Bongino, I appreciate your, but let's produce something. If not, then who cares? Same thing with the Epstein situation. Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, you named 100 names. What's going to happen? And we've not heard about any of the names. So you did all this stuff behind closed doors. We can't know what's going on. But you're going to tell us that it's something. Dangling the carrot. I don't like it. Okay, so here we go. We got Gavin. Okay, we got Gavin, the triple OG. At this point, it has to be Gavin who's running. I think I'm going to call it right now that Gavin is running. That's not necessarily like a big reveal because who else do they have? I mean, you pick it from like, you got slim pickings on the Democratic side of the aisle right now. I'll tell you what, to run for president in 2028. Who else but Gavin? Gavin should have done it in 2020, but they hitched their wagons to that 1,000-year-old man for some reason. Anyway, so he's going to do it in 2028. Who else could it be? What, AOC, Jasmine Crockett? I think not. A woman as a president and them? I think not. Booty gig, LGBT, married to a man with kids, adopted. It ain't going to work. Who else?
We're trying to play by one set of rules, and these folks on the other side have played by a completely different set of rules. So much so that the President of the United States called Greg Abbott and told him, in essence, find 5 additional seats so we can rig the election next year and maintain the power and authority with the House of Representatives, which de facto amounts to no power, no authority, complete capitulation, so Trump can continue to run roughshod over our rights and liberties. We're trying to.
All right, there we go. So that's Gavin on what's that? Brian Tyler Cohen's podcast. Shout out to him, Brian Tyler Cohen, Bitcoin. Anyway, but yeah, they're gonna do a lot of media. Oh, and they also had Hunter Biden out there for some reason. I guess maybe. Hey, you know what would be funny if Gavin ran and then the vice president was Hunter Biden. That would be absolutely hilarious. It's like, really, it wouldn't even be funny. It'd be embarrassing. It's like, how are you going to be the best country on planet Earth and you got a guy who spoke crack for a living in the White House? Like, what part of the game is that? It's like, okay, listen, I understand that you only got to have 3 qualifications, right? You got to be 35 years old, natural born, 14 years, etc. Okay, I get it. That's fine. But maybe, just maybe as a people, we should say that people who spoke crack shouldn't be in the White House. And some people I'm reading the comments on the Hunter Biden podcast where he was clearly showing signs of crack use because I know what that looks like. I've seen it on my own 2 eyes in person many times. I know what that is. People were saying, oh, he sounds eloquent. He sounds great. I'd vote for him. I was like, oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness. A dope fiend for president. I would never. Oh my goodness. All right. Candace Owens. Now, this is a while back. This is not recently. Talking about the whole Brigitte thing. And I feel the same way about Brigitte as I feel about Dan Bongino. And we're going to release this, Patriots, all of that type of, it ain't going to be nothing. But anyway, let's watch.
Macron, as you know, has a libel trial against Natasha Ray, who made the claims that the French First Lady was born a man called Jean-Michel Trogneux. It's due to take place imminently, and we will get to the bottom of this. And I'll bet you, why don't we have like £100,000 bet that it establishes beyond any doubt to a charity of your choice and mine, $100,000, make it dollars, right now, that it is established beyond any doubt that she was born a woman. Do you accept that bet?
Make it rain, Piers. Make it rain, okay? Because, look, first and foremost, 100,000 pounds. Can we look up what that means in U.S. dollars? Let's see.
Okay, so look, they had a bet on that whole thing. She's not gonna find nothing. She not. I don't know, man. It's weird. She not. I don't really understand. I don't understand. Candace, listen, if you can, I know you watching. I don't understand what's going on here. Like, what are we doing with the whole Brigitte thing? What's really like? Okay, it's a joke when I say Big Mike. It's just a joke. I'm not gonna sit here and say I got evidence that Big Mike was born a man. I'm not gonna say that because I don't have it, and you don't either. It don't matter how many documentaries you put together. You really don't got nothing because the ultimate thing you need is DNA. You asking for it, but you don't got it. So what are we talking about exactly? I don't understand. But anyway, what do y'all think is going to happen with the whole Candace Owens thing? With the lawsuit with Macron and the wife, all that kind of stuff. Sharon says Candace seems too Hollywoody for me now. Yeah, very Hollywoody, very very Hollywoody for sure, very very much so. Okay. KJ, okay. Okay, it might have been the cuss word. I was going to read it. Thank you for deleting it. Okay. Yeah, research it. Research. The only research I need is to see that DNA test. Okay, XX or XY. If we ain't talking about that, then we ain't talking about nothing. We talking about just, you know what I mean? You can't say something like that without the hardcore evidence. Just like with Imani Khalif. Okay, but Imani Khalif, remember the boxer, the obviously male boxer who was identifying as a female? It was a test that came back. The chromosome, he had XY. It was proven. It wasn't, that's how you prove it. Anything else, you just making an assumption. And in the case of Imani Khalif, it was clear. Brigitte just looks kind of, you know what I mean, kind of rough. But Imani Khalif, you're talking about the biggest jaw I've seen in my life. I'm talking about the jaw, SpongeBob SquarePants with arms and legs. That's how big the jaw was. It was crazy. I'm like, why is this man fighting women? Like, where do that at? Anyway. Now, here is Candace talking about President Trump. Okay. Now, what do you think her opinion about Trump's going to be, huh? Let's watch.
Are you done with Donald Trump, or could you see a way that you would end up perhaps voting for him? Oh, you can't run again, obviously, but would you support him publicly again?
So I want to be clear. I don't regret voting for Donald Trump above Kamala. I think he was the better candidate, certainly a better candidate above Joe Biden. But what I will say is that he's been a chronic disappointment. And I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him because this wasn't going to happen and it is happening. But I just think that the picture of politics in America is going to look very differently because of his actions. So I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. But this is not the candidate that I voted for.
Are you done?
So what do you think about that? Why would you say, I don't, listen, Candace, you're like his friend. He has your phone number. He called you to warn you about the whole Brigitte thing. At that point, if you would have stopped, it would have been fine. Your audience, it wouldn't have been no big deal. He called you to warn you about that. And then you told on him. You went to your show and told on him. And now it's like, I feel regret that I voted for him. you don't like this man. If you like this man, if you respected him, you wouldn't have told on him. When Emmanuel Macron asked him to ask you to stop with my wife's a man allegation. But that's just me. That's just me. If the president says, ABL, if he called me with something like that, I'm gonna keep it straight right here. You would never hear about it. That's what I would do. The president, come on, man. You can't be gossiping about the president and what he called you and say that right there. When she did that, I was beside myself. Anyway, now here is Trump before going to Scotland. Shout out to Scotland, great people.
But you should focus on Clinton. You should focus on the president of Harvard, the former president of Harvard. You should focus on some of the hedge fund guys. I'll give you a list. These guys lived with Jeffrey Epstein. I sure as hell didn't. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, should not be part of the
Now we have the hottest country in the world. All I want him to do is lower interest rates, because that'll take care of the house.
RP to the headphone users, but he's talking about Jerome Powell lowering interest rates, but also talking about there's a list and you got to look into the former president of Harvard, look into Bill Clinton. Same old thing I've been hearing about. I've been hearing about Bill Clinton since the beginning of the whole Epstein thing. And there's pictures getting a massage with the young lady. She was not underage, but she was young right there. So it's like everybody know about Slick Willie. Slick Willie was so nasty. He was in the Oval Office doing his business with the intern. Okay. So we already know about Bill Clinton. Why are we talking about Bill Clinton? That was like in the 90s. We talking about that right now in 2025. Who cares? Slick Willie got on TV. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. And everybody knew it was a lie. Everybody knew it was a lie back then when he said it. So why is anybody surprised that he's in the Epstein list and he was on the island or whatever? Everybody know what he was doing back then. Everybody know what he was doing back then. Okay, hold on. I'm reading some of the comments here. I'm reading some of the comments. I saw one that I wanted to say. Oh, okay. So somebody said that Candace Owens is beyond most of our capability, most of our thinking. Oh, is that right? Is that right? Do some research on what research will I find that will show that Ghislaine Maxwell is in fact a man? Well, I gotta watch a Candace Owens documentary with no evidence, just innuendo. I look at it like I said, National Enquirer, Bat Boy found in cave. That's what this was. Now they asked him about pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, potentially.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if
it's something I haven't thought about. It's really something recommended. It's something I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about.
But you wouldn't rule it out, sir. Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if
it's something I haven't thought about.
So, do you think that there's a scenario in which Ghislaine Maxwell could be pardoned or have her sentence commuted? Like, what's your opinion about that? Let me know. I don't really see that happening because it'd just be, I don't know. Man, they're trying to make her talk. Well, they're making her talk. They didn't subpoena her. And she named a bunch of names. So, how about this? Here, you know what could happen? Here's what could happen. Here's a scenario that could manifest. Put it to you that way. Okay. Ghislaine could get a reduction in the sentence if the names that she gives yields in prosecutions. Would you be upset? Would you be upset if Ghislaine Maxwell got a shortened sentence if it meant that 50 guys who might have been on the island got arrested and sent to the penitentiary? Or would that not be enough? Would that not be enough? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. All right, so meanwhile, it goes to Scotland, and he's getting nothing but love from the locals. Okay, no sound on the video, but you can see what's happening out there in Scotland. Okay, we got a Trump banner out there. People are waving. It's lit. And there's more, of course. There's more. That's just one piece. Now, this is a bunch of Scottish people out in the streets demanding mass deportations. This is right before Trump came, like hours before Trump came. You got a big protest about the migrants. And when Trump was there, he spoke on the migrants because, you know what? I'm going to just talk about the migrants as far as what Trump said in a minute. But check this out. So we got a pretty good turnout right here. A pretty good turnout because the mass migration is hurting a lot of Western countries. But the reason why it's happening is because it's allowed to happen. Listen, the boats pull up right to the shore and let the migrants out. Now, in the USA, we got a thing called Coast Guard, Border Patrol. They're not just going to let you rush the beach like that on a boat. You understand? But over there, that's what's happening. Now, I get it. You got the Mediterranean. I understand. But still, they're not just going to let you run up on the shore here in the USA. It's more difficult to do, but it is possible because there was a boat that came to San Diego like the other day. But that's not a thing that is... Well, it wasn't the other day. It was like, okay, there was a boat that came to San Diego last year during Biden. But under Trump, such things don't happen because the border is actually enforced. They don't allow the boats to come in. The only reason the boats come in is because they're allowed in Europe, because the Europeans are dying due to the low birth rate. That's the bottom line. That's what that is. But see, the problem is when you let in everybody from all over the world, you're going to have conflict because they got their culture they're going to bring with them. Now, their culture may be fine for their home country, but if you come in from a place where the culture is wildly different to this successful land and you still want to behave like you did when you were over there, it's going to be incompatible. Listen, when you come to America, you got to be an American. When in Rome, do as the Romans, and you want to be a barbarian, that causes society to collapse. When in Rome, do as the Romans. If you want to be one of the barbarian tribes that came in, that's going to contribute to society decaying because you're not behaving properly. Okay, now here he is talking about the whole thing with the migrants in Europe.
Stop the windmills. And I mean, there's a couple of things I could say, but on immigration, you better get your act together. You're not going to have Europe anymore. You got to get your act together. And we, as you know, last month we had nobody entering our country. Nobody. Shut it down. And we took out a lot of bad people that got there with Biden. Biden was a total stiff. And what he allowed to happen, but you're allowing it to happen to your countries. And you got to stop this horrible invasion that's happening to Europe. Many countries in Europe. Some people, some leaders have not let it happen. And they're not getting the proper credit they should. I could name them to you right now, but I'm not going to embarrass the other ones. But stop. This immigration is killing Europe. And the other thing, stop the windmills, killing the beauty of your countries. Thank you very much, everybody.
There you go. So what I think about that, that the windmills and the windmills, the thing about them is that when they break, which they're going to break, they are just a complete mess. They're ugly when they break. They are not recyclable. These big turbines just are on the ground in the middle of a field and they just sit there and it just sit there. It's a mess when they start to break down, and they're going to break down in about 20 years time. 20 years. That's their lifespan, 20 years. And they're humongous, especially the offshore windmills. They're big as football fields each. And they could break right there in the water. It's a mess. It is really a mess. I mean, a windmill might be okay if you got a very small population, like a handful of people, but not trying to power an entire nation to millions of people. That's not an efficient way to go about it at all. Now, here's how the migrants wash upon the beach in Europe. They just wash upon the beach. But like I said, such things are allowed to happen because the Europeans are no more, or they're starting to die out, low birth rate. If you're looking at the European, like native European birth rate, white European birth rate is going to be 1.3, 1.2. The birth rate overall is like 1.6 maybe in Europe, 1.7 on average. And the only reason why it's that high is because of the migrants. And they know that, which is why they're allowing the boats to come on shore. That's the bottom line. And they have the same strategy here in the USA with leaving the border open during Biden. The problem is here, the same thing that's happening in Europe is that these people do not understand how to behave in society. Not in our society, at least. They didn't build this with us. They're just coming over here to get money, and they don't understand how to really blend in. That's not all immigrants. It's just if you come in on a boat, just or you run into the border, that's much different than just coming here the correct way. That's a whole different thing. And even if you do come on the boat, which you shouldn't, but even if you do come on the boat, once you're here, you need to understand how to behave in society. Because if I go to your country, I got to understand how to behave right there. I go to India, it ain't no toilet paper. I got to figure out how to make it happen. You understand what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's just what happens. It's okay because that's your culture. That's your country. You do what you want in your culture in your country. I can't go to your country and criticize it. I can, but who cares? Because y'all cool with it because it's your country. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And now here we go. This is going to be, what's this, Paris, I believe, or somewhere in France. We got music. I ain't got to play the music. This is what happens because now this is pretty much how they operate in their country of origin. It is what it is. That's just because people are not being educated about how to be in this country. They're just here. And they're being welcomed in by the French government. Because if not for the boats just being allowed to come to the shore, if not for people just to, walk, whatever they're doing, you wouldn't have this. Because the Europeans themselves are dying out. But this is what you're going to have as a result. Okay, we just got informal markets, trash on the ground, whatever. But to be fair, like I said before, Paris has been like that for centuries. That's why they had Versailles. The Treaty of Versailles. It's like a suburb. The royalty, the haves left the have-nots in Paris while they went out to the suburbs. Happens here as well. It ain't no difference. But yeah, shout out to Paris. Hey, you know what? That's why if I'm going to go to Europe, I ain't trying to go to Paris. What I want to go to Paris for? Okay, let me go down to the south of France, down with the multi-trillionaires be. Let me go to Jeff Bezos' yacht and be up there sunbathing or something like that in the Mediterranean. I ain't trying to be in some little, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to be where Jack the Ripper, all them be. I ain't trying to be out there. Get me to the islands, the water, south of France, Italy, Amalfi Coast. Dude, I want that. I don't want Paris. I don't want the Eiffel Tower. I'm good. It's fine. Now, remember the case in Springfield, Ohio with the Haitians, and they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Remember that? There's no evidence, ABL. Listen, I wasn't even trying to say that I wasn't trying to attack them for eating the cats in general. I'm just saying, look, you could do that over there because you're starving in third world country, Haiti. Okay, if you're very poor in Haiti, you have $0 and no way to eat at all because it ain't no government benefit. It ain't none of that. And you have animals you can eat, whatever, cats, rats, bats, not bats. Shout out to Wuhan. But you understand what I'm saying? You're going to eat these animals because what else are you going to eat? What, a mud pie? So I get it, but you can't do that over here. Now, we got more migrants, I believe somewhere UK, something like that, doing the exact same thing because remember, they said that the local cats were coming up missing and the Canadian geese were fewer in number. Now, you can see on video what's happening with these animals because some of the migrants do that in their home country. Let's check it out.
Oh my God. What you do with that?
Yeah,
What you doing with that, bro?
I got it.
You gonna eat it?
Yeah.
You catch it outside?
Yeah, it's important now. Now it's important.
Let me see. Let me see it. Is it alive or dead?
It's broken down.
You gonna eat it?
Eat here.
Yeah?
Eat here.
You gonna eat it, yeah?
No.
Flipping hell. Why are you gonna eat it for?
Nothing.
Let it go, man. It's cruel.
So I'm saying, you know, it ain't just the Haitians. It's a thing. It's a thing because people come from these third world countries or very poor countries. That's what they do. They're gonna. It's a wild animal. Okay, we got a goose, a duck, a cat, a dog. That's what they do. To us, it's ridiculous because that's not our culture. Which is my point. Hey, when you come to America, you got to learn our culture. If I go to your country, y'all just catch random geese on the road and slice that up, that's fine. It's totally fine. Okay? So there you go. Cut the video. I'm sorry. Was that too much? I'm sorry. My fault. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's a real thing though. You know what I mean? It ain't, oh, you just hate Haitians. Shout out to the Haitians. I got good Haitian homies, good people. But we know that some people in some parts of these countries do that. And it ain't nothing else to it. It's simple. Now, this is an interesting video. Okay, this is going to be Maine representative. I cannot pronounce her name. Deka Daklak. I'm going to show you her name. So, and then y'all try to pronounce it because I can't do it. You know, that name is tearing me up. Tearing me all the way up. This name is like Joe Biden in the clump of sand. It's not going to really work. He's going to be looking like a pogo stick at best, trying to maneuver his way through it. But look, Maine rep, House rep, Deka Dlak, do y'all know how to say that? I don't know. Says her goal is to help our country of Somalia. Okay, let's play some of this.
Policies, how can the politics in Somalia can be, resonate what we have here in the United States, the democracy that we have. How can you help us, be a better country and build back what we used to have back in long time ago? So hopefully we will be able to help our country, our former country, Somalia, and policies.
Okay, so she wants to help Somalia from where she is right now. Now, here's my take on this. I think it's okay to be philanthropic. You want to be Bill Gates, that's fine. Do that on your own time, though, because if you are a U.S. House rep or even a state rep, your primary focus should be on the state, on the United States of America, this country and your state, your constituents here in the country. It shouldn't be about Somalia. And I would say the same thing about anybody. Okay, you can support Israel. You could go there, visit, go on the wall, send money, whatever you want. But what's your primary focus? Is it Israel or is it the USA? Okay, you want to love Ukraine. You want to help Ukraine. You want to send them money. That's fine. You might be Ukrainian born and still go there and visit and you help out, give to your old community. Totally fine. But if you are an elected official, are you about Ukraine first? Is that your objective, to come into the government and do what is necessary to help Ukraine? Or is it about trying to help your constituents here, your country here? Are you America first or not? That's my question. So look, have your, philanthropic nature, go back to your home country, help out. That's fine. That's fine. But are you America first? If you're here to just help your former country, you could go right back there. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. 100%. Shout out to the Somalis. Shout out to everybody. I love everybody. But if you're going to be in government in this country, you got to be America first. I don't care where you come from, what your race is, black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe. America first, period. Point blank. All right. Now, this young lady is talking about, she's also Somali, talking about moving to Kansas was like boot camp. This is interesting. I want to play this because I have something to say on it that might be a little bit different than what you may expect. Hold on. Let's watch this.
So coming into the States, everything from the snow to, you know, the housing, the homes that we were all of a sudden occupying, everything was a shock, honestly. Every day was something new, and I'm like, oh my God, this is just getting worse. Yeah,
So what state did you guys land, first of all? Kansas City.
Of all places. Yeah. It was like a boot camp for Maine, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's just like, right, like, I mean, anyone who lives in Maine knows Maine and has ever visited Kansas, they will know what I'm talking about. It's just a lot to deal with as a person of color, honestly, or a black person, anything.
Okay, first of all, there's a lot I want to say. Actually. I understand what she's saying as far as the whole boot camp thing, because what's happening is you're being acclimated into the American culture and the way that we live. It's not like living in Somalia. You go to Kansas, you see snow for the first time, it's cold, the houses are different, everything is different, the food's different, everything's different, the weather. So you're trying to get used to being in America. Did you even speak English at the time? How was your English? But before you came to America, how was your English? Did you speak English? So you got to get all of that. And that could be a lot. Okay. So I get it. Now, talking about being black, first of all, I don't really see Somalis as black. If you Ethiopian, Somali, from Djibouti, that particular, I don't really see you as black. I see you more as like being akin to a South Indian. That's kind of what I see you like. Because, okay, and I'm going to explain. And shout out to the Somalis, nothing against Somalis. I'm just saying. When you see, I'm the captain now. When you see him, does he look like does he appear to be like a regular black person you would see in America? Like, hold on, let's put it up right quick. Because let's talk about it. Because I don't like this whole thing about trying to say that you're black, using that whole thing as some type of, I don't like when people do that when they really shouldn't do it, if that makes any sense. Okay. So when you see this guy right here, let me put him up on the screen. When you see this guy, do you think, hey, I've seen him before. I've seen him just, yeah, that's my cousin's uncle. Look at the hair. First of all, look at the hair. My hair is different. It ain't like that. The eyes, the jaw structure, all of that is different. We're not the same people. It's like comparing the person from England to someone from Japan because they both got white skin. They're not the same. So I don't really see them as being black. I see them as being their own thing, like more like a South Indian. So you were right when you said person of color. I'm not sure about the whole black part. I don't really consider y'all to be black. I think once you get past that particular part of Africa, once you get past like Sudan, once you get past all that, that's when you get into the more people that look like me. And especially in the western part of the continent. And once you get to South Africa, they're kind of similar to me as well because it came from Central Africa at first, which is the same thing as West Africa. Once you go over there, they're not black. Yeah, this right here, that ain't, you got this hair, you got the regular white guy hair. Your jawline, your forehead is crazy. We're not the same people. That's all I'm saying. But it doesn't matter because she said it. She said, as a black person, I went through X, Y, and Z. Are you black or are you just not an American? That's what you really wanted to say. It's not about you being black. It's about you were not an American. You probably didn't speak English. You didn't understand the culture. You've never been inside snow before. You're being acclimated to American society. And it's kind of rough because it's an abrupt change that you're not used to from your country of origin. So just say that rather than trying to make it simple or oversimplify it by saying as a person of color, as a black person. Okay. Did I answer your question, Patrick? I got you, boss. All right. I got you. It's all good. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all the good stuff that'll help me out tremendously.
It's been interesting.
All right, so we got Tulsi Gabbard talking about the whole Obama thing. Okay, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Have y'all been following anything about the Obama gate as far as he was behind the Russia Trump coup attempt. Have y'all been following that story? Are you interested in this story? Let's watch Tulsi talk about it for a second.
It's been interesting to see how the mainstream media has either refused to cover this story at all. The headlines or the lack thereof of newspapers, Washington Post, New York Times, and others in the days following this release have actually been quite deafening in their lack of coverage. And it's interesting to see how when they do cover this, they don't actually cover the revelations that these intelligence reports and the evidence that we released actually conveys to the American people. They simply talk about their criticisms of it or convey Democrat politicians' criticisms of it, but none of them actually dealing with the truth that has been revealed. It's been interesting to see.
All right, there you go. So that's a little bit about that. So how about it? So some of you guys saying, yes, you are interested. Some say no. They're not going to get them, though. I listen, before we even go any further and talking about Barry-O, Bathhouse Barry, whatever you want to call him, Barry Soetoro, before we get into even talking about him, they're not going to get him. And they can't get Trump because magically everything about Trump, all these cases, everything magically just went away when he became elected. So it'll be the same thing for Obama because there's no objective in prosecuting them. There's no benefit to prosecuting them. Why? Just because somebody says something? Nah. This prosecuting Barack Obama is way above Tulsi Gabbard's pay grade. That'd be above her. That'd be totally above her. It's not gonna happen. Listen, if they didn't get Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, how are they gonna get Barack Obama? Let's be serious. Let's be serious. It ain't gonna happen. Okay, lock her up was a cool slogan, but I mean, be for real. It ain't gonna happen. Okay, now look. This was really interesting. That there was a sign that said, hold on, let me see if I can find that sign. I gotta find that sign right quick. And I'm gonna show the sign, and I don't want y'all to get offended, okay? But it's gonna link to what I was saying. It's gonna link to the next video I'm gonna show. Okay, it all goes together. And if you like what you're hearing so far, y'all know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, there we go. I found it. This is going to really kind of make sense when I show you what I'm going to show you. Okay. So first, we got the sign. All right. Here we go. And you see what it says. Deport white liberal women. Okay. All right. And that appears to be a white guy, MAGA hat, nice mustache out there somewhere. Who knows where he is? But yeah, that is a sign. Now I want to show you why maybe he would say something like that. Okay, let's go ahead and throw it on the screen. And the context: we got Border Patrol, ICE, whoever trying to get this guy into custody, get him up out of the country, and we have Starbucks Katie trying to intervene. Alrighty, let's watch.
Don't fucking push me. You're taking him before I can take a phone number from him?
You need to stop. Right.
You need to stop kidnapping people off the fucking street.
100%.
You just dragged him away when I'm trying to call his family for him.
We're making an arrest. You need to stay
Show
back
me
from
your
my
arrest
red.
warrant then. Show me your arrest warrant.
I don't need to show you anything.
Yeah, because you're a
not,
liar.
You're not an interested party. You have no right to see that.
Stop! You guys are kidnapping people off the fucking street!
We good?
Yep. Yeah, because what? Because someone came over to help them, you have to rush and get them in the fucking car?
You're being obnoxious in a lady.
Not being obstructive. You're being obnoxious.
This is 100%. 100%.
You guys have no conscience.
Yep.
If you're doing something right, take your mask off then. Yeah, you're being cowards.
And unmarked cars.
Look at me!
Hey, you know what? This video is crazy. The funniest part is you hear the little cosigner. Yeah, 100%. Hold on, can I find that? I gotta replay that.
Kidnapping people off the fucking street.
100%.
Hey man, that voice is so funny. The vocal fry, 100%. Hilarious. Okay, I'll play the rest. and then we up out of there.
Marked cars, yep. Yep, just trying to like run us over. Like just all these vehicles, just unmarked cars.
Yeah, show your face if you're not a fucking coward. You're doing something that's lawful. Show your face.
Get
out of our fucking city.
Unbelievable. Un-effing believable. Man, it's like a parody of white women. It's like I'm watching white chicks with real white women. It's like, what are y'all doing? That's that TikTok y'all be on that got y'all talking like that.
Hell out. Go find a job that you can feel good about.
No kidding.
If you're proud of your job, take your fucking mask off.
Seriously.
Disgusting.
Hey man, the ad libs are killing me. Seriously, for real, 100%. Hey, y'all got to stop. Because recording this video does nothing but just make me just bust out laughing. That's all it does. The ad libs were turning me to pieces, man. So yeah, listen, get out the way, man. You got the guys trying to do their job, doing what's right. Hey, you know what? You talking about, oh, get a job you feel good about. Well, you know what? If I did that job, I'd feel great about it. So I think he feels great too. And guess what? Half of the country feels great that he's doing his job because we voted for that. All the swing states, everybody say, you know what? The open borders policy, it damaged us. We didn't like the results. So we're going to go another direction. That's what happened. So yeah. Oh man. The ad libs though. Oh my goodness. 100%. Like seriously. All right, I'm done. Okay. So look, we have a protest of a Kroger closing in Milwaukee. My question is, what do you gain from protesting a store that's closing? They're closing. What are you going to do about it? Let's watch.
$9 billion increase over the previous year, and they can't keep a few stores open in the neighborhoods that need them the most. You know, if this were a real system that served the actual interests of people, there would be an exit tax on Kroger for pulling out like this. But instead, they can give 18 days notice and say, yeah, we're going to be out of here. Everybody that works here out of a job, everybody that depends on the grocery store for their food, for their medication, for their supplies. It's too bad. Food is a right. It is not a privilege. Everybody needs it. $9 billion.
Okay, so they're trying to protest Kroger for giving 18 days notice to close up shop. But look, if you have an area that's blighted by crime, violence, shoplifting, they can't turn a profit, you got crimes happening in the parking lot, crimes happening inside the store, employees stealing, all kind of stuff. If that's going on, why would a private company be obligated to stay? And how are you going to make me say, how are you going to say I got to pay exit tax? What you going to say next? I can't leave out of my country. Okay. If I'm a worker that's important to the country going forward, I can't leave because you need me. That sounds like North Korea. That's called communism. Young people, I'm seeing them now on TikTok and stuff like this, pushing for communism because they don't really know anything. They don't know anything. So they think that this will work. Listen, young guys especially, communism has been tried, it has failed, and it never ever works. So there's no purpose in going through this again. You can try. I say that's your right to say whatever you want to say. I'm just trying to save you some time. It's not going to work. So what's the point in doing it? To me, it doesn't make any sense at all. So yeah, shout out to them. I guess what they want is like a government controlled grocery store. But once they get something like that, they're not going to like it. They're not going to like it. And again, if this is a thing that people depend on, it's a poor area and they can't afford it, well, they already get welfare benefits, so they can get what they want regardless. They can get what they want regardless some kind of way. They'll be all right. They can travel. You're not stuck to your particular neighborhood. It's okay. It's okay. When I was a kid growing up and then, certain stores are closed down, you go to the next one. There was especially shopping malls, they would close down quite regularly. Okay, so when I was a kid, we had this mall in Portsmouth called Tower Mall. When Tower Mall closed down, it was kind of a blow because we went there a lot. It was a daycare in there that I used to go to when I was real little. It was an arcade that we would be able to play. The daycare was so lit, we could go to the arcade on a break. I love that little place. But the mall wound up closing down, so that ability is not there anymore. Okay, we're going to the next mall they'll open, because that's the reason why the first mall closed down. Now we're going to the next one. It's okay. We'll be able to fill that need if the need is truly there. But just trying to make them stay doesn't make any sense. So yeah, shout out to Kroger. All right, and okay.
No.
Now this people are offended. Let me see if I can get a better video here. The Ozark Mountains in Arkansas, they got a white community. It's a thing. It's the same thing they did. It's the same thing they did out there in South Africa with Orania, the white only place. The same thing they did out there. Okay, let me see if I can play it here.
No blacks.
All right, you heard what they said at first. No blacks. So you see what it says on the screen? Inside the whites only town in Arkansas, you don't let everyone in your home. Okay, let's go ahead and play this.
No blacks, no Jews, no gays. High up in the Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z, and this is a new update of age-old prejudice.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out, even if...
Well, you don't let everyone into your home.
Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And while the men do the physical labour, the women take care of the children who live here full time. It could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do.
You might be wondering how any of this can be legal. Return to the Land is structured as a private members association, which they believe allows them to discriminate on the basis of ethnicity, along with other factors. That has yet to be tested in the courts and may well fail. The Arkansas Attorney General has said his office is now reviewing the matter as a result of our reporting, and that there is no room for racial discrimination in Arkansas or anywhere in a free society.
All right, there we go. So that was the clip. Shout out to Dom. I think he was the one that put the music on there from the Hogan music. Shout out to Hogan. But look, okay, so what do y'all think? Me personally, I don't care. Have your white community, because they already have them. It's not really a thing. They're just promoting this, but they already have them. Just like we already have black communities. It's not really a big deal. It's okay. It's fine. Like, we got areas in this country that are exclusively black and exclusively white. And it could be a nice area or it could be a bad area. It is what it is. So I don't really see the problem. It's okay. Like West Virginia, I know, me being from West Virginia, I've seen plenty of white-only places. And like I said before, some of these hollers that they got in West Virginia, where you got generations in there, it's all white. Why would a black person even be in there? Why would I go to the Ozark Mountains in Arkansas and try to be with them? For what? I don't care. So go ahead, knock yourself out. Now, my only thing would be, are you breaking any laws? As long as you're breaking no law, knock yourself out. Go ahead. It's fine. Stay over there. Do what you want to do. Now, if you get into like a David Koresh or something like that, that's something different. Like I say, as long as you following the law, do what you want to do. It's okay. Okay. Ali says, aren't there all black sororities, fraternities? Well, no, not necessarily. There is predominantly just the same. Okay, that's a good question, Ali. I'm gonna address that since I'm right here. People, not you, Ali, but some people think that HBCUs are black only. No, an HBCU is an historically black college or university, which means when we had to have black schools because we could not go to a white school, we started those colleges. Actually, some of them were started by the government. The Moral Land Act, Moral Land Trust, you know what I'm talking about. That was started because you had all these free blacks with no education. So they started these colleges with the help of the government to educate black people after slavery was over with. And they persisted up until now. They still here. Colleges that predated then into slavery are still here right now. And some of them were all white and they remain pretty much all white. Just like when we had our black schools, they pretty much remain all black. Although you don't have to be black to go to a HBCU. Actually, there's 2 predominantly white HBCUs that exist right now in West Virginia. West Virginia State University and Bluefield State, I believe. These are HBCUs that are now majority white. So it's okay. Yeah, and as far as the frats and the sororities, you have predominantly black sororities and fraternities, but they're not all. You see a cool white guy dancing with the alphas, doing all this jazz right here. You see a cool white guy. You see a white girl doing all this. You'll see that. The same kind of way you see like one black guy at a college with like 1,000 white people. That happens, and it's okay. If that's your environment, you feel comfortable, go wherever you feel comfortable. Go to get the best education. If you like living in Atlanta around mostly blacks, that's fine. If you want to go, what's a white place? I don't know. If you want to go to X, Y, and Z random place that's majority white, go there. Do what you want. And don't feel ashamed to do it. Because that's your choice. You got freedom of association. As long as we ain't breaking no laws now, as long as we ain't attacking nobody or nothing like that, violating nobody's rights, it's fine. Why is race always an issue? Because the country was built on race. So it's always going to be an issue. It ain't never going to go away. Especially now that we got the migrants, because now we got total confusion. At one point, it was simple. It was just black and white. That was race relations. Black and white. That was it. Now we got black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe, everybody coming in. The whole world. The rainbow, the new rainbow country is going on. Are you going to Arkansas? Shout out to you, Ruin Leon. Are we going to Arkansas? No, I'm good. Hey, I am good. I'm right down here by Atlanta. I'm in Wakanda. I'm secure. I got all my gadgets and equipment. I got my little Black Panther suit. I'm good to go. I don't gotta go to Arkansas. What I'm gonna do up there? Okay, but anyway, so this is something about Section 8. You know, I did a video about that. It's going pretty good right now. Here's someone else talking about what you can do with Section 8. Did I do a video about that? I don't think I did. Well, I did a video, but it ain't really. So Trump is considering cuts to Section 8. Considering is the key word. Now, the cuts could include a 2-year limit to be on Section 8. And if you don't know what that is, basically, this program pays some, or in some random cases, rare cases, it pays all of your rent. The government will pay most of your rent. I think usually you pay 30% of the rent and the feds pay 70%. So you could live in a place, let's say, for example, that costs $2,000 a month for rent. Now, all you got to do is pony up, what, $600, and they pay the other $1,400. Let's watch this. And here we go.
We have too many people sucking off the government. I've talked about this before. I work with Section 8, okay? I have tenants that fall behind throughout the year. And so we know around tax time, those tenants that are on Section 8 will file their taxes. And meanwhile, they're on SNAP benefits. They pretty much have reduced or free rent. And a lot of them are on Social Security because they're able to get like death benefits or this, that, or whatever, that's been perverse. It was supposed to be for retirement. And our politicians were like, here, let me buy your vote and we'll open it up to more population. And they don't contribute like financially or productivity, nothing. And at tax time, I know I need to reach out to them and say, hey, you've got this balance. I know you're filing your tax return, and they're going to get a fucking rebate. They get money back after the federal government pretty much pays for a majority of their living expenses. And so we've got a whole bunch of people that are able-bodied, can work, choose not to, and are sucking off of the system.
There you go. So she pretty much nailed it. That is happening. That is happening. Some of these videos I put out about the kind of benefits people get, how much money they get, people are in disbelief. Really? You could do that? Yes, people are doing it every day, and it doesn't matter the color. Back in the day, it was the welfare queen, the black woman. Now it's everybody. Everybody. Your next door neighbor. You never know who's doing it. And it's crazy. It's out of control. And the biggest thing is that we're incentivizing people to just not work and do anything. So when they say Americans don't want to work, it's partially true, but you're not telling the full story. It's partially true because many more Americans do want to work, but the ones who don't want to work are being incentivized to not work by the federal government. She said it. Okay. You got politicians buying your vote. So what they did was say, you don't got to work. Sit at home and do nothing. And then with the scamdemic, they said, okay, stay home for a year, close your business, don't do nothing, and take this money to stay home. So you're doing things to make Americans become more and more sedentary, which means they're more and more sick and unproductive. Then you bring in the migrants to say, well, they got to do it because y'all don't want to do it. You see how that works? So yeah, shout out to all the productive people in society. Now here is Pete Buttigieg on the Breakfast Club for some reason. Okay. Looking a little bit rough, Pete. What's going on, man? Get that trimmed up. But he's on the Breakfast Club, and Charlamagne is saying that you guys are soft, basically, the Democrats. You guys are weak. You're not really tough. You got to toughen up.
My biggest problem with Democrats is it's like everything they're saying now, you should have been saying 2-3 years ago. Like, we've been saying Democrats was cowards. So, yes, y'all should have been toughened up. Jake Tapper with The Original Sin, and you read that book, and you see everybody knew that Biden was too old to run, but nobody said anything. But now everybody wants to speak up. His press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, saying she's an independent now. And, I'm like, why weren't y'all saying this 2-3 years ago? All of these things that y'all are saying, we the people had been saying.
I would say also that there are a lot of things we were fighting for then that we're fighting for now. The Medicaid stuff is a good example. The transportation stuff, right? I was, sometimes we were taking hits for people thinking we were caring too much about taking care of neighborhoods that were underinvested in or hurt in the past. I believed that it was the right thing to do then. I believe it's the right thing to do now. But yeah, we have to show a level of toughness in order to be credible, I think, and in order to go up against these guys who obviously. You can fault them for all kinds of things, but they definitely project toughness.
All right, there we go. So, yeah, Pete Buttigieg, listen, him being in office shows weakness because you LGBT with married to a man and got adopted kids, that don't really show strength. They don't show strength at all. So, yeah, it's a lot of weakness going on with the politicians. Okay. But now, when they want to get tough, they get tough on the wrong things. Speaking about Democrats, okay, this black woman is defending abortion for the black community. Let's watch.
But the Republican budget bill will put Planned Parenthood centers like ours across the country at risk. 200 of the 600 Planned Parenthood clinics across the country may close, and women will die. Planned Parenthood closures will disproportionately impact Black and brown mothers who already have a maternal mortality rate more than 3 times as their white counterparts. But the Republican budget... Okay,
so you think that funding Planned Parenthood will help to lower the Black female mortality rate? Is that what you think? The Black mortality rate, a lot of that just comes from unhealthy living. Bad living. That's what that comes from. It ain't because they're able to go delete their baby at Planned Parenthood. That ain't really what's going on. That ain't what's going on at all. All you're really doing by funding Planned Parenthood as it relates to the community is lowering our numbers. We already got a low birth rate. Actually, blacks are about what, a 1.8, 1.9. Y'all fact check me on that. You need a 2.1. And if you don't know what that is, the birth rate means on average, each woman needs to have this many children in order to maintain the population. That's just maintaining. Because you think, okay, you got a woman, she has a man, they have children. So these two people are going to die eventually when they get to be old people. They're going to pass away. But in order to replace them two people, they got to have at least in the West 2.1 kids on average to do it. Okay? But we are actually below that in the black community in this country. So how is funding Planned Parenthood going to do with that? You deal with the infant mortality by having black women become more healthy in their lifestyle. I think we got the highest obesity rate among our women as black people in this country. But like beyond 50%. Okay, the hypertension, the diabetes, the lupus, all kind of stuff is going on. We gotta deal with that. Planned Parenthood can't deal with that. All Planned Parenthood does is allow you to delete your baby. That's it. So yeah, that's crazy. That is totally nuts. Okay. Hold on. 0116 Lori says, ABL, that mortality rate is because of all that Velveeta they've been eating. Hey, now y'all know my pet peeve. That's one thing. Okay, that Velveeta, man, kryptonite. Boy, I'm getting flashbacks and they're not very positive at all. Okay. So these people are in New York City. I believe these are Scottish ladies, and they're being asked what they do for a living, how much they make.
What do y'all do for a living?
So, I'm a lecturer at university.
Cool. Okay, where are you from?
Scotland.
Scotland, nice. All right, what about you?
I'm a nurse.
Nurse, okay. Yeah. What about you?
I work in a factory.
Cool, and all from Scotland?
Yeah.
All right, how much are you earning over there in that role? And we can compare it to U.S. wages.
I think mine's about 38,000 a year.
What about you?
About 30,000. 23,000 a year.
Do you feel well compensated? Does that go far in Scotland?
No.
Okay. What do you feel like would be good compensation for your roles?
To live sensibly and to have a reasonable life and be able to choose whether you go out socially or have a holiday or have that little treat, I think a minimum would need to be about 45,000.
45?
Yeah.
45,
50,000, yeah. Same.
Yeah. I would say it's like 100,000 in New York, but
New York's entirely different to...
Completely.
We're the south of Scotland. We're not in Edinburgh. We're not in Glasgow. Yeah.
All right, so shout out to them. The Scots, they kind of remind me of like Americans, because I guess, it's the same people. Shout out to them. But yeah, like, is that like a good kind of salary to make? And a lot of your salary, when you're talking about Europeans, it depends on where you live. If you're living in Russia or somewhere like that, Eastern Europe, you can make a lot less money and make it. You're over in UK, you're in a kind of a country area, you can make less than you have to make in London, for example. Same thing here. If you're living in Los Angeles, San Francisco, you gotta have a much higher cost of living. If you're living in a smaller place in California, it's gonna be a lot less. Okay, it's gonna be a lot less. Okay, now these women are gonna be in, these people are gonna be in Australia.
You doing? How much do you make?
Apprentice electrician for
Cool.
Queensland Rail, yeah. I make probably like 100k a year at the moment.
What year are you in?
My second year.
How much are you working to make 100 grand a year?
Well, we do like a rotational roster, so like
Yeah.
2 weeks of day shift, a week of night shift. The night shift is where you like make a lot of your money. And then overtime as well if you want.
And then are you doing like normal electrical stuff, or is it all high voltage?
High voltage, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm in substations,
Cool.
which you also earn a bit more because it's like high risk work, I
Yeah.
guess you could say.
What do you love the most about it?
Well, it being being government, you just get a lot of freedom and not super busy. You don't get ran into the ground like a lot of other, domestic sparkies out there.
Are there many other girls working with you?
There was, but a few one's injured and then one finished up and she unfortunately didn't get a job with us. Yeah, I'm the only one at the moment, but hoping to get more in over the next year or two.
Well done. You do the same TAFE course as a sparky?
Yeah. With like lineys and stuff, they do a different apprenticeship, but for like substations and all that other stuff, you still do the same one. So yeah, it's tricky to juggle, but you just got to put in extra study, I guess.
When did you know that you wanted to be an electrician?
Oh God, I was going to be a nurse and then just didn't follow through with it, and then just woke up and was like, oh, may as well try like a trade, pays well. Yeah.
But your job's not guaranteed when you finish your apprenticeship?
No, but as they say, your apprenticeship's like a 4-year interview. Show them that you're keen and you'll likely get a job. And they'll make a position for you.
And then have you had a get ahead?
Yes.
Do you know where we are?
Yeah, it's like Tinder but for jobs or something.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So Tinder for jobs, create a profile, photos, videos.
All right, there we go. So is he overpaid, underpaid, or what? Again, an electrician out there in Brisbane, Australia. They make money. My cousin / nephew is also an electrician. He goes all around the country doing jobs, and they're in very high demand. I've been saying it for a long time that the trades, skilled trades, are going to be in very high demand, and you'll never be without work. And as far as things stand right now, AI cannot go into a substation and perform any kind of high voltage task. Okay, ain't no machine to do that quite yet. So you got a pretty stable job. GS says overpaid DEI. Oh, GS is not buying into it. Okay, GS is not buying into it. It's like, nah, I don't believe it. But if you're a skilled electrician, you're a skilled tradesman, whatever you do, I think that's going to be the best route to go forward because it's AI proof. They can't take you out of the place. They still got to have you, the human being, the skilled worker, there to do it. Okay, if you out there cutting lawns and stuff like that, ain't no AI that's going to cut grass. Ain't no AI going to pull a lawnmower out and cut your grass. So these things that you got to do, the physical trades are not going anywhere anytime soon. I see some of y'all with the comments. You guys are crazy. Shout out to y'all. Okay, now somebody was asking about what's the cost of living in these countries. It's a great question. Like I was saying, it depends on where you are in Europe. You could be in UK. If you're in London, obviously a lot higher. Other parts of the country, if you're in a kind of a rural area, country area, it's going to be a lot less. If you're Edinburgh or something like that, it's going to be more. Now, over in Eastern Europe, you go to Poland, all that kind of stuff, Russia, Ukraine, the cost of living is a lot less. A lot less. And their salaries match. They don't make that much. But let's watch this.
What's the price to go on a fancy restaurant in the heart of Russia? We're standing in Red Square and we're going to find out. Come with us. Meat restaurant, 2 minutes away from Red Square. A medium rare steak with fried potato and 2 beers. Kind of big steak, a plate of fried potato and 2 beers. This meat was actually really good.
And hold on, that's a great serving size too, by the way. The great serving size and everything looks to be nice and fresh, which is a plus.
The total cost here is like 18 euro. Correct me if I'm wrong. So here's
18 euro. Now remember, they have 2 beers, a steak, a plate of fries. What's that? Some green beans, asparagus, a tomato or something right there. $18 for that. That's great, actually. You couldn't, or not dollars, 18 euro, which is going to be different when it comes to dollars.
The total cost here is like 18 euro. Correct me if I'm wrong. So here's a question for you. How much food can you buy outside at a restaurant in the capital of your country for 18 euro? Comment below.
So that is $21.14, if I'm not mistaken. $21.14. I think I just looked it up. Basically $21. You could get that for $21. Now over here, I mean, the steak by itself might cost you $20, depending upon where you go. And then you got beer. So you got drinks, the steak, the fries, like some green beans or something like that for $18. and it's a nice restaurant. Like these people, look, it's a nice little spot in there. Okay, 50 here easily. Oh yeah, easily $50 easily, easy, and that's not even really a high price. That's not even a high. If you go to like a mid-level to, yeah, you're gonna pay $100. Yeah, and especially if you're in the big city or something like that. Oh yeah, they're gonna slap your head off for sure. But again, you're gonna be in Russia making less money overall. So to them, 18 euro is probably a lot of money. But to us, being in America, it's not that much because we make more money than them. But we pay more than them. So it all kind of balances out. I think what we're going to see eventually is maybe like a total deflationary period in this country, or maybe some stagnation. I don't know. We're going to see something to happen because you can't keep going up and up and up like this. Okay, this is going to be an apartment in Italy for $600.
Welcome.
Dollars in American dollars, I guess you would say, right? Hold on. US dollars. Let's watch this.
Welcome to my apartment in Italy. I officially moved in 1 week ago. This is the main area when you walk in. I have a desk in the corner there, and then a nice big sofa that pulls out for guests, which is amazing, and a beautiful balcony off the main room. We've got a fireplace and a nice big TV, and then this is the bathroom. Everything was redone a couple of years ago, so it looks very new, which I love. I love the tiling everywhere too. We have a nice big sink and mirror, bidet, toilet, and a wonderful shower with a really good shower head and lots of space in the shower, which is hard to find in Italy sometimes, so I'm very happy about that. Then if you walk back out into the main room, you can see there's lots of space on the balcony. We're going to put a table and chairs out there, which I can't wait to do. We can have meals out there then. So when you go right, you'll enter our kitchen. So we have a little table there, and then we've got a washer and a nice big fridge. Lots of space in the kitchen. We also have an induction stove, which I love. Very easy to clean and heats up so quickly. And I love our marble sink. It is so beautiful. And then the window views in the kitchen are amazing. I love how much sunlight is in this house as well. If you walk straight out of the kitchen, you'll end up in the bedroom. So this is our bedroom here. We have a setup for music on the right, and then a big wardrobe for clothes and a nice big bed. And that is it for my full apartment tour. I love it. I'm so happy.
Okay, that's a good price. Again, $600 right there. You see it a month. So that's a pretty good price for that. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I don't know where they are in Italy, but what they show, yeah, that's not bad at all. That could be like a good vacation spot if you can get like a short-term lease, but they don't like that too much out there. They want you to actually be out there. Yeah, it's big. It's like a house. It's like an apartment. What you mean apartment? It's like a house. Yeah, that was huge. That was a lot of rooms. It kept going and going. Now, okay, I looked up the average salary in Russia. I looked it up. So the average salary in Russia is $780 a month. $780 a month. Now, if you were in Moscow, it's like $1,100 a month on average. St. Petersburg, $950. But once you go to like Siberia, all that kind of stuff, you're getting into like 45,000 rubles, which is, let me see if I can just do the ruble. So that's like 566, $500 a month. The highest average salary in Russia is in Moscow at 1,100 a month. So that 18 euro is a big deal because you only make $1,000, you see, a month. You still got to pay for housing and everything else. Yeah, I mean, we take what we have in this country for granted. We don't understand how rich we are. We don't get it. Look, this phone right here is an entire month salary in Russia, a whole month. And we just buy it like it's nothing. We just buy like it's just buying a soda or something like that. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, and the salary, somebody said, is that our currency or theirs? The salaries I mentioned in dollars is our currency. Again, the average salary in Russia, $780, US dollars. And in Moscow, which is the highest, it's $1,100 $7,100, which in their currency is like 100,000 rubies or rubles, whatever they call it. 100,000 rubles is equivalent to $1,000, basically 1,100. And a lot of Europe is like that. They don't make a lot. Go to Germany, Poland, Ukraine. They don't make a lot of money. It's only like a lot of money when you come to America or somewhere like maybe parts of France, UK, like Western Europe and America. The rest of Europe, they're not making a lot of money. Now, let's come back to America, shall we, and see what you can get for $420,000. This is going to be East LA. Ain't that like the hood? Ain't that like in Snowfall where the dude got shot for selling to the Mexicans? Anyway.
This is one of the most affordable homes in East Los Angeles right now. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath, 700 square foot property sitting on a 2341.
2-bed, 1-bath, 700 square foot. 700 square foot for $520,000. And it says this is one of the most affordable homes in East LA. And I thought it was the hood.
This is one of the most affordable homes in East Los Angeles right now. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath, 700 square foot property sitting on a 2341 square foot lot. And let's check it out together.
Security door, man, nah. If I gotta have that and I'm paying that much money, I'm good.
So here's front porch area. Opens up to a living room. Kitchen looks like it was recently updated. Good sized closet in this bedroom. Here's first of 2 bedrooms. And here's a bathroom. And
oh no, wait. Bars on the window? Am I tripping? Oh my goodness, nah. I'm paying 520 bands and he pretty much I'm locked up in my own house. Nah, we're not doing that.
And the second bedroom's here. There's a door that accesses the side, and I believe laundry would be in this back closet here, although I don't have access to that. But the lot seems to go up to that retaining wall up there with the chain link fence over top. Let me know what you guys think of this one. Drop a comment below, and I'll see you in the next one.
Bars on the window, man. White refrigerator, ghetto. $520,000 live in the ghetto. Listen, LA, shout out to LA. But again, if you're out there in LA, what I notice is there's a big divide between the haves and the have-nots. If you got a lot of money, I'm talking about multiple M's to just spend. You're living high on the hog. You living high on the hog, or at least high 6 figures. You living high on the hog is fine. But if you're not really that, it's rough. It is rough out there. You get a nice view of the tents. Yeah, exactly. You get a nice view of the tents. Okay, you get a nice view of some people smoking crack. All of that. Yeah. How do you afford that? Hey man, sell dope. Sell dope. That's pretty much what I would say. Okay, but if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Somebody says you're going to have gangs, pests, vermin, everything. Hey, the main thing that got me was the bars on the window. I'm like, man, come on, nah. Like, why we got to do with that? I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Hey, where I live, for $500,000, where I live, you can live right next. You can live right next door to me, and we got a beautiful community. Beautiful. You can leave your doors open. It's fine. It's no problem. It is okay. Beautiful community. Kids outside playing. Quiet at night. Like, I don't hear nothing at night. When I'm doing my videos, I take my headphones off. Total silence. By 8 o'clock, you don't hear nothing. Even before then, like during the day, it's quiet. Out there, you're going to hear all type of stuff. People getting shot. You're going to hear little vermin scurrying, sirens. No, I'm good. I am good to go. Ain't no thing to me. Okay, so how much are you guys paying for your Disney vacation? How much are you guys paying for that? I want to know. I've never been to Disney before. Like I say, being from Virginia, we went to what we had nearby. Our amusement parks. We had Water Country USA, Busch Gardens, Kings Dominion if you want to be fancy and go far to Richmond or whatever that was. So I never did Disney or nothing like that as a kid because I didn't even want to go there, really. I want to just go to Busch Gardens for real. That was my favorite spot. But how much are you paying for your Disney vacation?
I'm sorry?
Are you on vacation here?
Yes.
I got a YouTube and a TikTok, and I'm just asking like Disney adults how much they paid for their Disney vacation.
Oh no. Am I going to be like on camera, or you're just like taking data?
It's up to you.
No, I don't want my face on there.
Okay.
About $35,000.
$35,000.
Whoa, wait. 35 bands for a Disney vacation? Come on now. Hey, wait a minute. Before we continue, she said that she spent about $35,000 on the Disney vacation. I got to ask y'all a question. Does that sound about right, or is it a little bit too high? Is it too low? Y'all let me know.
Wow. I bet. Well, never mind. This camera tracks people, so they're walking by. It starts tracking.
Okay, yeah, I don't want my face on
Yeah, that's fine. I won't put it on there, I promise.
Yes.
$35,000. Where are you staying at, if you don't mind me asking?
We're staying at the Disney Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Oh, okay. How many days is that?
We got here on Friday.
Friday.
So, we're here till next weekend. So,
Okay.
about a week and a half.
Hey, thank you. My TikTok and YouTube DJ from Orlando. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
She paid $35,000 for a week. That's insane, guys. She didn't want to be on camera, so I ain't going to put her on there, but wow. Insane. That's a car.
Yeah, that's a car. That's a whole car. That's a Toyota Camry, a brand new Camry, straight off the lot. Hey, you got 35 bands. You could just go to the Toyota dealership and just buy that. Hey, here go the cash right here in the brown bag. Let me get the car right now. Give me the keys to the actual vehicle. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. Nah. 3,500. She said 35,000. I think he asked her more than once. Hold on.
I don't want my face on there.
Okay.
About $35,000.
$35,000. Wow. I bet. Well,
like he repeated it back to her. She didn't correct him. You see what I'm saying? So she said what she meant. 35,000. 3,500 might be low. I think that's probably low for Disney. Because if you stay in a week at a spot like that, that's low. But 35,000 is just out of this world. Hey, Bean says she's lying. Y'all be thinking these people are lying when they say stuff like this. Y'all think, but I'm telling you, man, people do some stuff, and who knows? I'm not saying maybe they just got money to burn like that. Maybe her husband didn't figure out a way to make some kind of something, and he didn't struck it rich. Maybe he found an oil well in his backyard and he is a Beverly Hillbilly. You understand? I don't know what's going on, but yeah, that's about right. That is about right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Evil Gandhi says, 3,500 is like two. Yeah. Evil Gandhi says, if you'd go there for like 2 or 3 days, that's 3,500. Not a week. For a week, that's low, 3,500, but 35,000 is just something else. Okay, but yeah, I can see how it would add up because you're buying all these things. You're buying the way to skip the line. You're staying there for a week or some change. You're getting all kind of merchandise and this and that and the third and yeah. It's about that. That's about right. And no thing. All right, but I'm going to get to a few calls before we first super chats. Then I'm going to get to a few calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. But before we get to that, let's get to some super chats. Thank you to Apple Blocker, our Puff Daddy, who says, ABL, please tell us your Hulk versus Warrior childhood. Yeah, shout out to Incredible Hulk. Shout out to Warrior. All of them, Hulk, Warrior, Randy Savage, Roddy Piper, that whole crew. And then into the late 90s, mid 90s to late 90s, WCW, NWO, WWF, all of that. Great times. Take it to Apple again, who says, Uncle ABL, Uncle ABL, what do you think of President Obama's advice? Young men should be mentored by gay men. Also, they should treat gay friends to the theater. That whole thing about young men should be mentored by gay men is like what a groomer says. That's what a groomer would say. Okay. When I was young, I had like a gay uncle. He was cool though. He wasn't no molester uncle. He was cool. But that wasn't my mentor. It was just my mentor was my father. That should be who you have as your mentor. And beyond that, it needs to be men that are similar to your father. In my humble opinion, men who are not, it shouldn't be about whether somebody gay or not. I put it to you this way. A mentor that a man should have should be someone that will, a mentor that a boy should have should be a man that would add value to the young boy's life. It shouldn't be about them being gay. If the person is gay, they shouldn't tell me that, because you shouldn't be involved in your sexuality with your mentorship, because now we're blurring the lines. That's where the grooming comes in, you see? And that's why you got so many LGBTQ, LMNOP, X, Y, and Z, Gen Z, because they got quote unquote mentored by gay men and women in school, which in my opinion is a form of abuse. It's just like being molested, but I don't want to go down too far into that rabbit hole, so I digress. Don't nobody get offended. Thank you to Chill Zan for becoming an ABL supporter. And thank you to Chill Zan who says, HBK, my heart, born in 87, Attitude Era, my jam, RIP to the Hulk. Absolutely. Yeah, Shawn Michaels. Hey, yeah, he was a man. I liked him too. I like Shawn Michaels. Shout out to Shawn Michaels. Heartbreak Kid all day long. Yeah, he had a good thing going on. Women loved him. Oh yeah, they absolutely loved Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Thank you to Cardinal Flanagan who says, hate to say it, but he's coming off like Dan Bongino. I'm not quite sure who that was in reference to. Thank you to, or maybe you saying Dan Bongino rather than Dan Bongino. Okay, I got it. Anyway, thank you to Donde2K who says, anybody thinks FBI didn't sanitize, destroy all the Epstein evidence years ago is smoking with Hunter. Epstein is the Russia of 2025. Biden had 4 years to destroy Trump with it and did nothing. Exactly. It ain't nothing there. It ain't gonna be nothing there. If Trump was in the Epstein files, they most certainly would have put that out there, because they were trying to get Trump on the most ticky-tack stupid stuff, talking about your house was valued too much. You value your house too much. We're going to lock you up for that. It's like, what? That's going to be how I get locked up? Let's be serious. Let's be serious. Thank you to Donde2K who says Martha's Vineyard is an upscale version of that Arkansas town for real. Exactly. They got the Obamas up there, but, you know, that's different. You know, that's different. Aside from that, nah. Hey, when the migrants came to Martha's Vineyard, they said, check it out. You got 24 hours to get up out of here. Get up out of here. Hold on. Do I have that picture? I'm going to keep that picture on standby whenever I need it, because that a picture speaks 1,000 words. Hold on. Let me see if I can search this. White liberals, Martha's Vineyard. Let me search that and see if I can pop it up. I gotta find that. Oh, there we go. I got a whole video. Yay. So this scene right here sums it up, Donde2K. Remember, this was when the migrants came to Martha's Vineyard some years back, and then they got deported like 48 hours later to a military base off the coast, Massachusetts. I had never seen them get deported to a military base. This was under, I believe, the Biden administration. This right here, that right there is a priceless moment. The same liberals talking about come one, come all, bring us, you're tired, you're hungry, all this, that, and the third. If you are for border control, you're a racist. If you want to deport brown people, you're a racist. The very same ones, when they get deported, they cheering iconic image. Te amo. Amid teary-eyed farewell hugs, volunteers who had worked around the clock to provide shelter, food, and clothing to the 48 migrants waved goodbye. This was just 2 days max. It wasn't 2 days. And they out of there. Meanwhile, we as Americans been dealing with it for years. And when we say no more, you racist. When they say no more after 2 days, they are gone immediately. Immediately. From Joint Base Cape Cod, attorneys and state officials plan to arrange help them find accommodations in Massachusetts, outside of state or out of state. So yeah, listen, we're going to put you somewhere in Massachusetts or maybe somewhere else. But up here, Martha's Vineyard, oh no. No, we're not going to have that.
Keep this open for me, please, folks.
Man, that was a time to be alive. My goodness. My. Oh, my goodness. That was so funny. Shout out to them. Shout out to the Martha's Vineyard white liberals who love people of color, who love the migrants. After about 2 days, though, hey, man, it's time for you to go ahead and get up out of here. It's time to go after about 2 days. Yeah, we'll see you at a different time. All right. Thank you to Ron Henderson who says, Save America, stop the crazy checks now. Right on. Thank you to Half Orc Monk who says, I love to work. Love it. Shout out to you, boss. Thank you to Sneaks who says, why call it Planned Parenthood when the majority of their business is making sure you don't become a parent? That's what I'm asking. That's a great question. Great question. Thank you to Marianne for your donation. Thank you to Ron Henderson who says $35,000 for a vacation. I think not. No way. Right on. Thank you to Wellers 860 who says my 401k booming since Trump took over. What the? Hey, my stock portfolio. And I told y'all when the stocks dipped, I was like, buy it right now. I told y'all, buy it right now. And then of course it then went up beyond where it was before it started. Anybody could have seen that coming. So hopefully you bought some stocks when I said to buy them if you were able to. Thank you to Cardinal Flanagan who says, I'm interested for Obama to explain why the positive male influence has to be gay, straight, anything else. A good positive influence is just that. I'm going to do a video on that. A lot of you guys are asking me about that. Okay, you guys are interested. I'll do a video on that. Thank you to Ron Henderson who says Martha's Vineyard sent it to military bases and true Americans send them to alligator Alcatraz. There you go. Exactly. And that's the funny part. So they send the migrant straight to the military base. Oh, it's militarized. It's militarized. They went to a military base and it's fine. We sent them to a brand new facility to get processed after we gave them the option to go back to the country of origin or not. But we're the bad guys. Make it make sense. Please make it make sense. All right. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Let's get to the calls here. The number to call, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. The number is always in the description box, and it'll be right there. Perfect timing. And the ticker, 706-406-3287. Call me now. And shout out to you guys again. NKM says, what are those ditzy girls running after the bus laughing about? Oh, they're just having a twilight. You know how they be. They be trying to like emulate what they see on TV. They try to be like Taylor Swift. You know, I be seeing them get a little speech that sounds just like Taylor Swift. I was like, all right, man. Like, this is like, what am I watching? Am I watching TV? What is this? They're funny. They're funny people. Shout out to them. Umar Johnson. Listen, I'm seeing a lot of content about Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson is just a social media influencer who does speaking engagements. There will be no school. The school was announced in 2014. I covered it back then when it happened. It might have been earlier. It might have been 2010, but definitely 2014 was when he announced the FDMG Academy was going to be built. All that he would need is your donations. It's been years now. It's been over a decade now. No school has manifested. Whenever it's going to open, there's always a problem. Something happened. Somebody did something. At first, it was going to be in different parts of the country. It wasn't going to be in Delaware, which is like right where he's from. He's from Philly. So Delaware is right. Wilmington is like right there. It was going to be somewhere else. It's always a problem. You find this place out there in Wilmington. You put some channel letters on it and say, okay, it's open. We got kids coming here. Ain't no kids going, ain't no school. Ain't going to be no school. All he's doing is asking for money to keep himself afloat because that's what he does. Umar Johnson, what you could do is actually be a social media influencer for real. You could do that because you could just have your YouTube channel and do like I and many others do and make money from your YouTube page. Make money that way rather than this elaborate thing about a school coming out that you need our money to fund and it never happens. It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. Furthermore, you're talking about trying to educate kids that's like above 14 for what? That's a waste of time. If these kids are already ne'er-do-wells, they already struggling at age 14, what is your school going to do? Do you have a trade school? If you don't got a trade school, why are you trying to educate 14-year-olds? You know what I would tell a 14-year-old? If you can't read, drop out and go work as an apprentice somewhere. Go work. Because what are we doing? You're behind already. Figure out how to read some other kind of way. Get a tutor. Okay, work. Do that. You can make it in this country without having to. If you can't read at 14 years old, it's over. But you can still use your hands. If you're not soft, especially, go do that. Because the only thing else you're going to do is just sell dope and die. So go get a trade because you don't got to be a rocket scientist necessarily to have a trade. Not all the time. I know guys that have been to prison for years and years. I know a lot of guys. I can count. I need more than one hand to count the guys. I know friends of mine that have been locked up and are now doing very well in trades. Being in Virginia, I know guys that are merchant marines. A friend of mine did 6 years in prison, came home for about a year and was able to get onto a boat and be merchant marine within a year. Another friend of mine had gone back and forth to prison, jail, prison. Okay, now I'm a truck driver. Now I got my TWIC card. Now I'm able to go on the base. Now I'm able to do other things aside from just keep going to jail. That is what I would do. So Umar Johnson trying to teach kids, trying to read books and 1 + 1 is 2 at 14 years old. It ain't going to happen. He's just getting money to enrich himself, period. 803, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Robert.
All righty, what's happening?
Nothing.
Okay, what you call for?
I just wanted to call and let you know that, being from Washington, D.C., born and raised there in the Maryland area, moved to South Carolina, and I love the South. It's a lot of slower pace, less people, and I guess you threw me off because I'm watching you live and now I'm talking to you.
It's all good.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, first-time caller. But I just want to say people are people. So, when you watch the Travel Channel like I do on ETV or the educational TV, when they talk about the people, salaries and rent, they don't mind giving 50% of their pay for health care, and taxes, basically, which is free health care, but they're at a 50% tax rate. But I also noticed that they live longer because they don't eat processed food. They eat fresh food every day. And I'm guilty of charge. One heart attack in, I'm 64, overweight, typical American. But I watch the show. I guess I started watching it during COVID. And I just wanted to get your opinion on folks that live in the United States versus, say, Europe.
As far as what specifically?
As far as the health, the average length of life, their lifestyle, our lifestyles are totally different. We're more into, I think, entertainment. You know, I'm a drag racer for the last 50 years. Probably not a economical hobby, but I guess it's no different than fishing or golfing or whatever. But I don't know. It just seems like it's a different lifestyle. They have a 4-day work week. They have 30 days vacation a year. They're less stressed. They live longer. And we're just the opposite. You know, we want free rent, free money, free everything. And it's just a trap that people get stuck into. You know, everybody wants to do a hand up, but we don't want to do handouts because they're just hurting themselves in the long run. When I got out of the Army, I couldn't find a job. So I went back to engineering school and had a successful career in communications and IT before my heart attack. And now I just work part-time. But anyway, I'll get off the phone and let you talk.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, take care.
All right, great call. So to answer his question about the lifestyle, the European lifestyle versus the American lifestyle, I mean, Americans, we're like over-commercialized. Everything is about trying to sell us something for us to consume things. And it's gotten so bad, we have neglected our health. And we eat a lot of garbage. The diet is not good. A lot of the cultural food that the Europeans have, we don't have that same type of cultural thing going on. So it's a problem. It's definitely a problem. But one of the main things that the Europeans do differently is eating less processed food. The processed food is killing us. I eat a whole food diet. Y'all know what I do. I'm eating. I got a picture of what I eat. I'm gonna show you what I eat pretty much every day. And that's not what an average American would eat. A lot of Americans eating fast food, box food, garbage because they just don't know what to eat. And there's also sometimes the fear of even cooking. Cooking is very easy. But I'm very experienced with cooking. I'm cooking all my life, really. Not all my life. Since I've been probably about 14, 15, I've been cooking. But it's simple. It's not really that difficult. I'm not really like, Bobby Flay over here. But people are just not educated, just don't know. So they go to the store and buy whatever they are attracted to based upon the marketing of the colors and stuff on the box. Or whatever they think tastes good without thinking about caloric content, salt intake, the cholesterol, the sugar. They don't think that way. All they think is, I like this. When you go to Starbucks in the morning, how many calories is that coffee you drinking? How much sugar is in that coffee you drinking? What is it doing to your heart? What is it doing to your body with all that sugar? All that sucrose, and it's a lot going on. But let's get to the next call. 216 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, it's you remember me, Bold Like a Leopard? I haven't spoken in a while.
Bold Like a Leopard, man. What's going on? Been a long time.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's been a long time. I got married. I have a kid now, so you know how it is. It's
congrats on both.
Stuff to do, but but thank you. And I do catch your other videos. I just don't get to catch you live, and I didn't feel comfortable like asking you about the Candace Owens situation because I don't want to get in the middle of anyone's friendship. So I didn't hear if you said anything today, but I do feel like when she was getting tight with the Tate brothers, their influence has kind of corrupted her logic. And there's a lot of stuff I work on. I read a lot about the 9/11 speculative theories, and she's latched onto it. So I'm actually coming out with a book about that, hopefully not too soon, so I will call you back about that someday. And unfortunately, I do think that she, like, not just with Brigitte Macron, but she, I think like the first time she hears like some wild idea, she feels like it's been concealed from her. But I don't know what because you've met her personally, so I don't know whether I'm reading her correctly, but that would be my 2 cents.
Now, I don't really know Candace. I've met her a few times, but I don't really know her. So I can't say that we're friends. I don't have her number or nothing like that. It's not like me and I know Tatum. I got his number. I've been to his house. That's the same thing. Candace, I've just met her just at some events, and I've not seen her in years actually. So I don't really know where her mind is. But what you said about her,
I actually met.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I think you broke off. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I met Officer Tatum. He went to my alma mater for an appearance, and he was pretty down to earth. But there's something about Candace Owens, in my opinion, that it just seemed like she's very savvy at, she has like the charisma to get opportunities, but I think she's also, she does use every opportunity to get herself ahead, not necessarily to improve the people around her, if I'm saying that correct. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
yes,
she's I think she is definitely an intelligent person, even, whatever her opinions have been and are now. But I think that at some point, some of these influences on her, like, just warped her logic. And I don't know if there's a way back from that.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think that could be what's going on. I'm not sure if you heard me when I was breaking up, but I don't know her. I've only met her a few times. I've not seen her in a few years. I've not seen Candace Owens since, I don't know when, probably like 2020, maybe like pandemic time. So, I don't really know her. But I think what you're saying makes sense. Just guessing based upon what I'm observing, it makes sense.
Like, have you watched any of her appearances with Andrew and Tristan Tate?
I've not.
Yeah, I think that she's fallen into this mode where she believes if people are controversial and they're in trouble with the law, that they must be persecuted.
Mm-hmm.
And so, they themselves are, in my opinion, they're manipulators, master manipulators, not just of their alleged trafficking victims, but also of their fans and the audience. And so it's a little surprising that Candace Owens would be like able to fall prey to that, because I think she herself is, not to be too harsh on her, but she does the same type of stuff with her audience. But in these interviews, they're basically dumping on these victims who do have some concrete proof of being trafficked or being kidnapped, and some of them are underage. And I actually wrote an article comparing the stance of another Tate defender, Ryan Dawson, to how he expresses himself regarding Jeffrey Epstein. And they use the opposite logic with each case. And, obviously everything Epstein did that was illegal, I'm not, I believe he did it. There's question whether the trafficking happened, but he was definitely a predator. But the same rationale when they approach whether a victim is credible, that they take victims that have proven not to be credible with respect to Jeffrey Epstein, and they apply the opposite logic when it comes to Andrew and Tristan Tate. So I do think that there, it could be that they have just motives that are about being, earning from it, and I don't think that Candace Owens is being paid by the Tates, but there are other influencers that are, and it's a deeper relationship than people think it is. Everybody has the right to be friends with whoever they want, but you're talking about two people that are under trial, and they're also accused of intimidating witnesses. So I think that's something that should come into the picture. If you're, there's all this stuff about, calling her out over, what she says about Jews and things like that, which is obviously, it gets a lot of attention, but I think that this is an issue that's the real core of it. So just thought I'd call in and say hi again, and, keep doing what you're doing. I know I don't call in that often, so just wishing you the best.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to my man. He used to call all the time, man. Good guy. Boat like a leopard. Shout out to him. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's go 786 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. Anthony Brian Logan, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
All right, fine, thank you. But I want to say tonight, you made me realize I think I missed a calling in life. I was actually thinking about so many of the scenarios, and so many appropriate songs came to mind that seemed to fit each one. Like the Valley Girls, trying to obstruct the ICE agents. Yeah, the Ice Baby, of course, by Vanilla Ice. For Hunter Biden, you have Afro Man's Hunter Got High. And for the lady talking about the Section 8, housing scenarios, Money for Nothing by Dire Straits.
Well, hey, that's a great playlist to me. Great playlist.
Yeah, the irony of it is, though, when you featured that whites-only little town in the Ozarks in Arkansas, they had the instrumental version of the theme music that Hulk Hogan used when he'd entered the arena. It was Rick Derringer's Real American. I recognized it.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was added by somebody else later. I don't know if that was. I don't think that was in the original NBC or whatever that was broadcast, but it was a good choice. Whoever did it.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that's saying out. I know the one thing that was interesting. I know you didn't bring up. I don't know if you heard about it. I've been talking about in the super chat as Ambrox. Confess my handle. They had like this Panda Gala. I think the DNC or somebody, affiliated with the DNC was trying to put on, and their special guest surprise speaker happened to be none other than Kamala Harris herself. And they tried showing it, and they didn't have more than 25 people show up. I mean, the thing bombed like a nuke. That's all I could tell you.
Well, hey, no surprise there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh well, but. Anyway, I'm going to keep it short and sweet tonight, and I'll let the other 10 million and one callers try to get in. Take care. Have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Sure thing.
All righty. Shout out to the caller. Hold on. Okay, I forgot. I got to show y'all what I eat. This is what I eat most days. There we go, right there. Fresh from this is wild caught right here. You can see how much I paid. $26.23 for a pound and a pound and 3/4. Okay, she would say it like that. 1.75 pounds of wild caught. Regular, if it's farm raised, it don't cost this much. But that's wild caught, and it tastes so good. Oh my Lord. And then of course, avocado's ready right there, cherry tomatoes, and I got brown rice in this mason jar. And I get about a fourth cup dry of that rice right there. That's a meal. And one of these fillets, I will eat that for like a day. That'll be what I eat in a day. I could cut it up, but normally I eat that whole thing. That's my one meal for the day. And that's it. All right, that's how I eat. Whole food. And I cook. Whole food, or I cook, or I can just eat the food raw. Like you could just eat the avocado without having to cook it. Same thing with the tomato. You get the rice, put some water in it, put the fish in the oven and bake it, and you get money. Yes. So that's what I do. 740, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Jeff from West Virginia. How you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Man, it's sad about Hogan in a way, but he did have a good life. What was your favorite wrestling match that he ever did?
The favorite match that Hogan did there was a lot. I was watching one that somebody posted recently. Who was it between? I think it might have been The Rock. That was a good one.
I'll tell you the one I remember from a kid that was really fun is when Bret the Hitman Hart was facing Yokozuna, and Yokozuna pulled some stuff to win that match, and then Hogan come out there to get the title off of him. Man, boy, that was a good one if you ever want to look that up.
Okay, sounds good.
But speaking of wrestling, that gives me an idea of how to settle this Bridget McCrone and Candace Owens things. They need to just put them two gals in a bikini and a mud pit, and then the truth will come out, don't you figure?
There you go. That'll settle it right there.
Listen, both of them give me dude vibes. One of them wants to talk about politics, why she ought to be cooking dinner for her kid and her old man, and the other one likes to hit her husband in public. It's craziness.
Hey, you said it, not me. I'm gonna blame you.
I don't have a problem saying it. What else? I've seen somebody, I only seen it once in the comments, talking about this new South Park episode. Do you have any opinions on that?
I've not seen it. I've only heard about it, but I've not seen it. Is it out yet? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I've seen reviews of it, and I'll tell you what I think. Whenever Donald Trump, they're either going to be, nobody's going to be watching that show soon, or Donald Trump's going to sue them into the ground. And maybe when we get all these illegals out of here, they can go to do all the farm work, because we know they can definitely pick the low-hanging fruit.
That's right.
Well, anyways, I just thought I'd call in. Man, shout out to the first caller that never called in before, and you got everybody wanting to, oh, he's drunk and all this. The next caller, hey, why don't all you guys that are making those comments sitting in the cut chair just watching, why don't you give him a call and have something to say? It's not as easy as you think it is. And man, good on you for calling in and throwing some opinions out there and talking to him. But a couple stories I'd like to bring your attention to, ABL. Number one, this week, and I've only seen one video on it, and it's actually Jimmy Dore put it out, and it's about an executive order that Trump signed about being able to force some of these homeless people into rehabilitation and stuff like that. And I haven't really heard a lot on it, so maybe you can come up with a little more this week. And, boy, there's another one out of Orlando 35 is the local station it's at, but some gal took an excavator and just destroyed a house with it. Have you seen anything about that one?
Nah, that's crazy. Just destroying the house for no reason, or just like...
Well, I've only seen it this morning, so they've just now found this gal, and she hasn't really given a reason. So that might be a good one for Uncle ABL. Man, she took an excavator and just destroyed this house, though. It's kind of funny to see. But I'm afraid if you watch it, that's going to be it for you looking for a wife. Could you imagine having your the front of your house just opened up?
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Anyways, go ahead.
So, no, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, it was. Well, I think about I'll tell you what, if you're not liking the women that are on the market, I did see this thing in Germany where they've got a brothel full of robot women.
I'll pass on that one.
Could you imagine putting lipstick and a bra on C-3PO? Because that's the image I get. But, all right, ABL, we'll let you off here, and maybe we'll get some of these other callers in that are some of these other people that everybody thinks sound drunk. Maybe we'll see how they sound on here if they're brave enough.
There you go, man. Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, bye, man.
All right. Shout out to my man. Great call. All right. Let me see. But shout out to you guys. The number to call, y'all know what it is, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287 for sure. So I gotta check that. I gotta check that the South Park episode. I've not seen that yet, so I have no idea about what's going on with it. I mean, I've seen a little bit of it, but I've not really watched it. 661, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
It's John.
All right.
California. It's California.
All right, what's going on?
Oh, not much, bud. How you doing, ABL?
It's all good, man. Can't complain.
I got to mute this because it's off sync. But you're talking about a few different things tonight that I wanted to address. And, man, I can't even think of none of them right now.
Anything I was talking about tonight? Anything that I was speaking about that kind of piques your interest? Talking about Macron and Candace Owens and Epstein and anything like that, jogging memory?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got family in the background. Sorry.
Hey, hey, you know what? Did my man just say that it's not as easy as it looks? It's not. Because, first of all, if you're a first-time caller somewhere, your heart beating, I've done it before. I've called into a show many years ago, and my heart beating, I'm nervous. It's hard sometimes. Yeah. It's not as easy as it may appear to be to call into a show like that. So I understand what my man was going through right there. I've done the same thing before. It's like public speaking. You think it's easier to go up there and talk until you try to do it. Then you're going to be freezing. You're going to Gen Z stare. All that. It's hard. 310, you don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
This is Ron from Georgia. How you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Oh, another great day, another great week. I tell you, for the callers that call in, truly, it's not easy to call in. But, but if you're focused and you got your opinion, just share it with you. And that's what I do. I have an opinion, and I just try to share it, and hopefully that it affects somebody. But, you think about this order that Trump, that was a good topic that the brother had mentioned about Trump's executive order about the homelessness. I tell you, they need to do that. Mental health is serious. I look at a lot of videos with the police interacting with people, and people are straight out crazy, lunatics. People got so many different ideas about what their rights are, and they don't have no idea what their rights are, have not an idea of what they're supposed to do when they're stopped or anything else. And then, like I said, they go off berserk. You can hear the oppression that their minds have been bartered with, and then with the drugs and everything else that's going on, I tell you, we need health places to lock these people up. These people need to be treated, and they need to be almost like an Alcatraz for these mental health people. I'm telling you, it's not just the illegals; it's the people that are mentally unstable, and it's rampant. It's rampant. It's so serious these days. What I see, and the thing about it is, it's so depressing if you allow it. But like I said, I'm just staying prayerful that people would really seek to do better for themselves. Because, like I said, our country could be on the upswing. We don't need all this nonsense that people are infatuated with, sex and drugs and everything else. It's vanity. It's worthless. And the people need to really understand that and get back to the basics. I'm telling you, hard work is the key. And we are living in a land of the free that we can do these things, and people really need to, really latch onto that. That's the social construct I believe that we need to have. And like I said, the people don't want to go ahead and deal with these issues, think that it's inhumane and everything like that to take people off the streets. Look, our streets are filthy. If I looked at California, like I said, I used to be in California. I grew up all my life in California, and the streets and the things like East LA, that thing, man, it's common to have bars on your windows out there in LA. You go into LA, it's common. Windows, bars, screen doors. You need security, I'm telling you, because you know what? Even though you might have something on the other side of that door, they will try it, and it's ridiculous. But the thing about it is that mental health, because people are so desperate times, people do desperate things, and it's ridiculous that they do it. But the thing about it, that they don't have to be in the desperate state. All they have to do is get their mind right, get to work, and get busy. I tell you, that's what's truly needs today. Don't you think? Don't you think that's true?
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. But but I tell you, I believe there's hope for our country. We continue to press forward, continue to support our country, support our prayer. Pray for our country, pray for our president, pray for our society, because I tell you, it's societal rot. That's what's going on. Everything that's being done to our country is societal rot. Everything that they're trying to latch onto is to depreciate our country. But you know what? Have babies, make love, stick with one woman, stick with one man, and the women, and grow our country, grow our communities, love our communities, quit and like I said, respect your elders, and as well as respect yourself. That's what we need to do. But anyway, beloved, I just thank you, man, and you just have a great week, great weekend, man, and you get some rest, okay, pal?
Right on, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right then, buddy. Bye-bye.
All right, great call. Fantastic call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 949. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's happening? ABL, it's Marta from Menifee, California. Anyways, I'm just calling in, saying hi, checking in. I missed maybe 15, 20 minutes of the show, but I doubt you probably talked about it. In Denmark, they banned the burqa, and they said to the people, if you do not assimilate, go back to your home country. Did you hear about that?
I did not hear about that.
It is a big win for them, let me tell you. I was just like, okay, when are we going to get on board with this? We need to get on board. We need to ban all that shit and say, people, you need to assimilate or get the heck out of Dodge. Get the heck out of here. Anyways, I just wanted to call in and share that and say hi. And great show. Love always. I'll talk to you later. Good night. Bye.
All right, let's keep on rocking. Let's go to the next call. Let's go to 206 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, hi. My name's Nick.
All righty, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing? ABL, I've never been on your show before. It's such an honor that you answered. I love your show. Thank you.
Well, thank you for calling.
Yeah, you know what? My mama turned me on to your show. I have a young mother. She's barely 55, and I'm barely 35. So I'm grateful to have a good mom who knows which way is which, and turn me on to your show. And I have a quick comment on some social factors, if you're down to hear it.
Go for it.
Awesome. Well, I am actually currently hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. It's a hiking trail that spans all the way from the border of Mexico and America all the way to the border of America and Canada. It's a trail that is about 2,700 miles long, and I just wanted to chime in and say just a quick snippet for your show, to bless up your show. I've been listening to your show for like 3 years. Love it. And also to just give a little insight to what's going on with my generation, the folks that are in their early 30s, late 20s. Wokedom is very woke, my man. It is vehement in this generation, and we're dealing with a lot of it out here. It's quite interesting. And yeah, how do you feel about seeing youth coming up that are just like a few years younger than you? Like, what are you thinking about that?
Okay, so what's your specific question? What I think about people that are younger than you, younger than me, or in general? Like, what's your specific question?
Yeah. My specific question is, are you worried about the youth that are in their early to mid-30s and how they're coming up? And if you think that they have a valid contribution to society, or do you think that generation is, for the most part, going to get washed out like a river with woke culture?
That's a really good question. I think that I'm worried about some of them, but I think others, I think there's like a dividing line. Maybe half are going to have some serious problems coming up here in the future, and the other half are hyper aware of what's going on, and they're taking steps to make things work. You got guys getting creative, tiny homes, You got guys buying property. You got guys learning trades, learning skills at that age. And you got other guys just want to sit around and do nothing, that want the government to take care of them. Those people are going to be totally irrelevant, and they're not going to make it.
Now, let me ask you a question, and if I can get your opinion on this real quick. I don't want to take up too much of your time because your time is valuable, because what you throw down is valuable. Now, this endeavor, which has been occurring since, the 1960s, 1970s. Yearly, there's about currently between 5,000 and 8,000 individuals who attempt to hike from Mexico to Canada along the Pacific Crest Trail. And some of them are very wealthy, some of them are very much not wealthy. And what's your opinion on individuals using EBT, food stamps, to account for their lack of finances to make this trek, to do this feat? I'd love to know your opinion on that.
Yeah, so government assistance is not supposed to be for people to actually go on hikes, go on vacations, or anything like that. It's not for leisure. Government assistance is, okay, you have a need, you're trying to survive, and the government should be there temporarily to help you out. Or if you're an elderly person or really disabled and you cannot do anything. But for able-bodied people to go on hikes, that using it for that purpose is completely out of line. And anybody that does it, be totally honest, should get a fraud investigation launched on them.
Right, because something like that, it does qualify as a vacation. And so individuals who are taking tax money for that just to do some sort of vacation, that's not lawful as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
100%. Awesome. Well, you know what? I just wanted to put that out there, and, thank you very much for answering. It's an honor to be on your show. I'll let you go and let other folks who are calling in take up your valuable time. Thank you so much, Mr. Logan. You are an inspiration, my dude.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Cheers.
All right. Good questions. Great call. 215 in the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, can you hear me?
I hear you, but it's a little bit of noise in the background. A little bit of noise.
Hold on, I'm going somewhere quiet. But thanks for taking my call, ABL. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Nothing much. So, what was the question I wanted to ask you? Oh, wait, is it better now?
It's kind of the same, but you good.
Okay, so the question I wanted to ask you was, what's her name? Well, they're going after Obama. They're prosecuting Obama.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard. That's what I was. That's what I was. That's her name I was thinking about. What's your thoughts on that? I meant to ask you that.
It ain't gonna go nowhere because you're not gonna be able to get Obama. He's untouchable. So, it's just talk to me. I don't see nothing happening from that at all.
Yeah, I kind of sense that it didn't really seem like anything was going to come from up that. The news story's going to talk that she's trying to go after him, and it seemed like there's a YouTuber, Nate the Lawyer. He said he had to ask. Oh no, I think it was Candace Owens. Sorry, that was something different. I think he asked ChatGPT if she has a case against Obama, or that might have been something else. But it does. But my point, it doesn't really seem like it's going to go anywhere. It doesn't really seem strong.
Yeah, it's not. It ain't nothing there. It's just, I don't know. It feels like just gossip. It ain't really nothing. Tabloid type stuff.
Yeah, it just seemed like I do sense gossip vibes. But another thing I wanted to ask you, I remember last time I called in, I asked about the Epstein files, and I looked it up, and basically, I don't think those files are not going to get released. And here's why I think the files aren't going to get released. It's not because Trump's name is on there, but it's like you have the victim's personal information on them files, and also you have child you-know-what videos on them files as well. So they shouldn't release the files, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely part of it. But again, like I was saying before, if they were really going to release it, if Trump's name was in it especially, they would have already released it. It ain't gonna come out. It's just like they keep talking about it, but they never do anything. So at this point, it's like, all right, let's move on.
Yeah, and it's like, and despite a lot of these YouTubers and the news and content creators and streamers trying to hype it up, drum it up, wanting to get released and all these speculations and rumors and whatnot, honestly, but the reality is, and like you said before, the average American doesn't really care about that stuff. And it's rare that you hear a lot of people say that. Like Rob Smith was on Piers Morgan, right? And he said the same thing. He said the average American doesn't really care. This is not, everybody has their own reasons why they voted for Trump. And the Epstein files rarely comes up.
Right, exactly. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, yeah, and that's pretty much it. Like, it's, eventually, they'll probably talk about it for 2 weeks, but it'll be like the World War III thing. Everybody will hype it up, and then nothing will come of it, and then they'll just on to the next subject. The only difference is this will drag on for a little bit longer, the Epstein file story, but eventually everybody will move on.
I agree.
All right, thanks for taking my call, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, you have a good night.
Same to you. All right, yeah, shout out to the caller. Let's keep it rocking and rolling here. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. And shout out to you guys. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Y'all know I couldn't do it without you. Y'all know I couldn't do it without you. Okay, somebody trying to call me again that already talked to me before. I don't take two calls from the same person in the same night. 864, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. Logan, this is Jason, Phoenix.
All righty, what's going on?
I'm curious, have you ever played Contra on NES?
Yeah, many years ago, for sure.
Yeah, who's your favorite brother?
I can't tell you, man. I played that game. It might have been 40 years ago. So I have no idea.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time and your show.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate you. Contra, wow, that's throwback. Well, I'm exaggerating. It wasn't 40 years ago, probably 35 years ago. When did Contra come out? When did that come out? 1987. Yeah, so about 35 years ago for sure. So I have no idea. Okay. 203, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Steve Homick.
All righty, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, ABL? I just want to let you know that, I watch your show every week on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and I really appreciate your point of view, and I agree with a lot of things that you say, and since nobody was really calling in tonight, and it's been kind of slow, I thought I'd give a call and just let you know that I really appreciate you, and you're an inspiration to me. And I'm a little bit older than you. Actually, you're 1 year older than me. So, yeah, just wanted to let you know that I really appreciate, everything. And I love your show. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
All right, you have a good one.
Same to you now. All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. And shout out to you guys as well for calling in. Y'all know I couldn't do the show without you. Someone's trying to call in that already called in before. I don't take two calls from the same person in the same night. Because I see you, but I'm not going to answer that. Okay? Nothing. It's just my rule. Just keep everything fair. Just so I'm able to get everybody a chance who wants to be able to call. That's all. It's all good, though. Either way. Yeah, Contra, the first Contra came out in 1987. So, yeah, 87. Yeah, like on the NES, all of that. Hold on, like this, because you guys might be old as me. I remember this game. Yeah, I remember that for sure. I remember that. I remember that cover with the little alien. I remember all of that. But that was when I was like 3 or 4 years old. Yeah, so I'll be 41 in September. All right, so yeah, shout out to Contra. Shout out to all you guys for rocking and rolling with me. You know you guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. All righty. Yeah, okay, to the caller who was calling in, call back next time. You call back next time, it's all good, but just one call per night. That'll be it. And I think that will be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling with me tonight. I'll be back again live on Instagram, actually, on Tuesday. I do the Instagram live. It's a little bit different. It's not the call-in. It's just more personal. So that'll be on Instagram, 9 p.m. Eastern time to maybe about 10 p.m. I try to do about an hour, maybe an hour and a half if I'm feeling good and I'm talking. But I'll be back live on this channel, same bat time, same bat place, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Saturday, same time, 8 p.m. to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, this is an audio streaming podcast you're listening to. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, including Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description. Or go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Okay, and also, the YouTube content here, the regular 10-minute, that'll be over on the Rumbles. So if you're not following me on Rumble yet, go ahead and do that right now. Also, what else I got? Go to the website, anthonyblogan.com. Go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. All my social media is on my website on the contact page, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. My Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I'm easy to find as well. If you don't want to go to the website, you could just find me on them social media platforms. I'll pop up. You'll see me. All right. But that will be a wrap for me. I think I got everybody on the super chats. We're good to go on that. I will see y'all again on Tuesday live on Instagram, YouTube live. I'll be back here on Wednesday. And of course, I'm putting out pre-recorded content every single day now. I was, Sundays. Now I got Sundays. I got stuff for that too, because I'm doing a lot of the shorts. The shorts are what people want to watch. I think what I'm gonna do is like maybe one of the regular length videos a day and focus on shorts, because that's what everybody's watching. People are like, oh, the video's too long. It'd be 8 minutes. Oh, it's too long. So I'm going to do the shorts and the regular ones for you guys who appreciate those, plus the live streams. Okay, and I got some more stuff coming, so y'all hang tight. But that'll be a wrap for me. So you guys have been fantastic. Y'all are the best. Thank you to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chatting. Whatever you do, I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. Y'all know I couldn't do nothing without you. But that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.